Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the full deal. When did you actually shave?
About 2 weeks ago.
We're up.
Guys, remember, we're always up.
Yeah.
Even on break.
Yeah.
That could be fun. Oh, so we have to common mic up.
Exactly.
Okay.
There is no common mic.
There's no common mic?
It's all uncommon.
It's all uncommon mic.
It's the uncommon community mic.
There you go.
Uncommon community. Is it you should have said unsanitary uncommon community.
Oh, well, that's why Mark has his spray over there.
Yeah, Mark, I saw all of our stuff too.
Why does he?
I mean, he only cares about himself.
Oh, this is killing me.
How's wife, Dad?
Doing good.
Good.
Oh, this is that meth house guy.
That house guy.
Clint, have you ever cleaned out a meth house?
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, yes. The bathroom fan had rotted the shaft out of it.
Oh, man.
You know, the metal shaft had rotted from whatever they were using in there.
Whatever it was, whatever it was in the air, it was just getting up to steel.
I just had guys scrape the drywall.
People were there.
Yeah.
Sounds healthy, really.
Well, what's even worse is whatever that product was, then they took it and smoked it.
Yeah.
Like,
Then you intentionally ingested that.
Yeah.
Scraped it down and smoked it.
Yeah,
Melting the bathroom fan, but hey, let's just put it in the butt.
I came through the late '60s, but not crazy like that.
Right.
Okay, I made it through the '70s and the '80s, but not crazy like that.
Exactly.
Most of your brain
Well,
cells
you're still
intact.
here.
Huh?
Most of your brain cells intact.
I'm not going to tell that lie. I'm not going to tell that lie. I just know that there are certain things I've seen that I would never do.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, that's some of them. Those things I'd never do.
God, the guys I've seen who've done blue.
Oh, Dan, throw me a pen, bro.
They screw up.
I had no idea it was going to be a crowd up in this place today.
Drugs. The more the merrier.
Well, it's like a
If you're
poker
free,
game.
come.
You invite 12 people and expect 5 to show up.
Right.
The 5 with money.
Right.
Then what are we doing here?
Huh?
Then what are we doing here?
I will.
It's a matter of.
You work for the governor's office, right?
I do.
Technically?
Technically.
I can say that, right?
Yeah.
You don't care.
So,
Do you get to see him?
no, I don't. It's a sub-department of the government.
I mean, have you ever met him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean.
What are you doing at the gov's office?
Oh, man, he's been there for fucking ever. He does a website, right?
No.
It has something to do with the
About 10
website.
years ago or 9 years ago, they took all these state IT workers and put them in a new department under the governor's office. So I was a CDOT employee, then I became a governor's office employee. But I'm
But
still.
Deb's still CDOT.
She's still CDOT, and I'm still sitting at CDOT for a few more months.
When I was going through that eminent domain, I'd be down there
Yeah.
all the time in their office. It was weird seeing them in the freaking big office. Are you guys out of that school now?
That will happen in April. That whole facility is moving to Colfax and Federal.
What do you think they'll do with that old school?
It'll get knocked down. City and county will buy it.
It's old.
Denver City will knock it down. It's full of asbestos. Can't do anything.
They'll drop it, and
It'll become condos.
I hazard to guess what's coming in this place.
Or housing, I would guess.
Yep.
But,
I hazard to guess what's coming in this place.
and I don't know where I'm going to be because they didn't. When CDOT created the new facility, they decided not
Did you guys have a good
to
Christmas?
make room for the IT people, for some of the
Oh,
IT people.
This one's up here playing with the
What
camera.
would you
He's
give the
dangerous.
boy?
Shotgun.
Oh, wow. I got a shotgun this Christmas.
Did you?
What'd
I
you
did.
get?
I don't even remember what brand. We got 25% off in Walmart.
Yeah.
So I finally said, fuck it up. I've been wanting a shotgun forever. I finally bought one.
Uh-oh.
After all the discounts, it cost me $110.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Once a year, because Miles works at Walmart, we get 25% off anything in the
You
store.
don't call me next year, I'm going to shoot you.
With my shotgun.
I'll use my shell, though.
It's the one you've been saving with his name on it.
You weren't supposed to tell it.
We might have to go down memory lane a little bit.
Oh, don't.
Got got to be careful what.
Yeah, say limited exposure, memory lane.
Don't do that. We have federal employees.
We stay away from the Vegas stories.
Not federal, just state.
I've just met you guys, and I got the feeling that could be a scary lane to go down.
Okay, hold up, guys. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. You know what it is. It's a Troubleshooter show. And what do? We do it better than anybody in the world. We solve problems, answer your questions. We take your complaints, and unlike any other show, we get directly involved in your life. You've been ripped off, you've been taken advantage of, that's where we step in. In fact, I like to say, I learned this from Tom. You know what? I didn't invent this thing. Tom did 38 years ago. He's just taught me how to do it. I got to say something, though. It is incredible. We have this big spotlight called a radio station, called a radio tower, called KHOW, called KRDO, called all of our affiliates, called the Internet, called everything. But our reach is unbelievable. But it's like a big spotlight. And we see these cockroaches, these bad contractors, these bad attorneys. I heard something today in the office, very interesting, about an attorney that's on TV all the time. Apparently he's a real pain in the ass. I don't know if we'll talk about that or not, but that sparked my interest. I heard that in the office. In fact, he's the same guy I heard hid in the bushes one time way back when. But I'm not going to go into that. I digress. We have this big spotlight, so if you have been ripped off, a bad contractor, we even got a lady, a liver. Can you believe that? Deputy Dan, isn't that the most amazing thing? If you think about the hundreds of millions of dollars over a long career Tom's had, one thing you got to put towards the top is a liver, wouldn't you say?
I would say a liver, any organ.
Any organ, but that's the organ.
Good, yeah.
That's the one we got. That was a crazy story, but that's what we do. We get directly involved. I'll tell you what, I hope everybody out there had a wonderful, wonderful Merry Christmas. We have got a lot of people in studio today. In fact, a lot of people I've known for years and years and years. And Talib, my buddy, I've known him for, oh my God, I think you're one of the first people I met moving into Colorado. Or, you know, Larry, you remember Larry. I met Larry before you. But other than that, Suzanne and I met Talib 93-ish, maybe 94. We owned a cyber cafe.
And we used to come in there. And
pull that mic up. You would come in and you would resell Internet services.
Yeah, this dial-up at the time was the thing to do. We were just getting into 56K modems and stuff.
I forgot about that. We actually had 28.8 modem banks, Mountain Peak Internet. We had a ton of people calling in. What do we have? I think we had 48 phone lines.
Something like that.
And we managed about 500, 600 people. Our only competition back there was AOL and Prodigy.
And Earthlink. CompuServe.
Oh, who was the free one? They did, well, after, right in the middle before I sold that company, Net Zero.
Yeah,
remember those guys? You'd have to watch these commercials before you would log onto the Internet. It was incredible. But anyhow, Dave Haglund, good friend of mine from way back when, Mountain Peak Computer Days. Once again, you were at the Cyber Cafe with Talib and myself back then.
I was indeed.
And then you were at the Parker store with me forever.
I was.
And then another computer guy in. It's like Computer Day here. John Hogan. And the weirdest part, John, is I'm so used to saying your old company's name. He did own PC Answers for how long?
Oh, I owned PC Answers for like 16, 17 years.
Yeah, you've been on this show with Tom and myself so many times I can't even count. I am so sad that you sold that business, because I got to be honest, I don't like the new guys. They're not on our referral list, but that's got nothing to do with it. We kind of had a small falling out, but I just miss you as a character here in studio. You have helped so many people over the years.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me in so I can see you guys, meet all these guys, see Suzanne, and it's fun to sit in this chair for the first time in like a year and a half.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, you picked up right where you left off.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
So, I wanted to do a little technology show today. So, of course, we're going to be, in fact, I promise, Scott, Gil, I'll get to everybody. And by the way, 303-713-8255, 303-Martino. We have Deputy Gil, I'm sitting here staring here. Deputy Clint, Deputy Dan, and guys, I want to use and abuse them today. And what I mean by that is Clint has solved a ton a ton of stuff in your small time here, Clint. I mean, really, a ton of stuff. And any updates you can think of you have right now? Anything besides Gil? I don't know how. Why is Gil even on, Suzanne?
Well, here's the deal. He called because he wants to talk to Daphne, and I said, oh, Gil, I think Mark might want to talk to you. Hang on. But I wasn't sure.
Gil's a homeless guy we helped out last week. We got him a place to stay. We got him some money. We got him a phone. We got him all kinds of stuff. I'm not quite sure what he wants to talk about, but I'll go to him in a little bit. But 303 Martino, any other updates? Deputy Dan, any updates you want to talk about, sir, while I'm thinking about it?
I don't, not right now.
Not a lot of?
Not a
Is
lot.
that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. Mike Thomas also in studio. It's never ending. It's just one person after another. Mike actually heads up referrallist.com. He runs all of our servers, or he's basically in charge of them. They're actually run by Microsoft, right? I mean, if you think about it, our server's sitting on what we call the cloud, and it's an Azure server. And then our new thing we're working on is actually over on Amazon's AWS, right?
Yeah. We've got a app project that we're working on over there.
And there's no difference between the two. And what I mean by Azure and AWS, you know, one's Amazon, one's Microsoft, but they're very similar from what you see, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're just hosted by different people, different organizations.
So for what's kind of weird, John, and you guys back in the computer days, we would build computers of 486 and sell it for $2 or $3 grand. Laptops, remember Sager laptops, $4 or $5 grand for a basic entry-level laptop in 95, 96. And now you don't even buy hardware. John, I mean, that's why I got out of the computer business years ago. Now you log on to Microsoft, you log in, you put it, and you literally build your own machine. What operating system do you want? What software do you want on it? What processors? What RAM? I mean, how do you compete with that?
Well, see, that's the difference is probably 90% of what you just said. The average listener didn't understand a word of it.
No.
And, yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think, my wife doesn't understand the cloud.
Once you
tried
have
to explain it.
Once you have, I don't even know why we have home PCs, and here's what I mean by this. If you have internet coming in, all you really need is just a dumb terminal, something that's fast, that can connect you to Azure, connect you to AWS, and that's it. You can build whatever computer you want, a gaming machine. You can build anything. I don't even know the purpose of having really a home PC unless you don't have internet.
Well, that's the problem, is that a lot of people, a lot of the infrastructure is just not there. They simply don't have fast enough connection to run an entire computer environment
off
the internet.
That.
Right.
Man, wait till we get, folks, wait till we get into this car stuff, too. Anyhow, 303-713-8255. Scott, what's going on with you, man? You called last Friday during car day, right? Scott, you're up, sir.
Hey, how's it going, Tom? Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course. What's going on?
Well, I had a tenant of mine in the back half of my duplex got busted with a meth lab in there, so now my place is condemned.
We talked to you Friday.
Yes, sir. And I'm not sure what I should do with it. I'm just basically grabbing at...
What does your insurance company say?
Well, I filed a claim with them, and they told me they denied the claim because they figured, they said methamphetamine was considered a pollutant, and they denied the claim, and then I asked for a copy of the policy, and then they told me if I pursue an attorney, they probably will drop me.
Well, okay. I mean, they still have to show you where it says in your contract you're not going to be covered. In fact, here's the problem, though, Scott. I thought you told me Friday they did drop you. It was just a threat. They didn't drop you?
Yeah, they didn't drop me yet. They just told me that they wouldn't cover it under that claim. See,
I don't know for a fact. Go ahead. What were you going to say? Clint, you've actually dealt with this. Anything you haven't dealt with?
Not much. Scott, your insurance company, the biggest problem with the meth lab is this: you don't have a data loss. It's a insidious thing that happens over a period of time, like mold or anything else. So without a data loss, it's not considered a casualty loss.
Well, okay, but Clint, my God, if he had insurance coverage on the first and the guy moved in on the second and there's meth there this year, I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah,
was it a renter's policy, Scott?
No, it was like a regular landlord.
Well, that wasn't that smart. I mean, if you didn't even have a renter's policy, but you're renting it out.
No, it's like it's a renter's policy because it's an income property.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so Clint, why do you think this wouldn't be covered? Let's get Compass up. I'm just curious what they have to say on it.
I've never seen them covered on any of them. Scott, how long was the meth lab in there?
I don't know how long, but the tenant has been in there for 4 years.
Oh Lord,
is he out now?
Yes, he's in jail.
Have you had somebody go in there and analyze how bad it is? Because you may have to strip it.
Yeah, I had an industrial hygienist go in there, and he checked it out. And since the crawl space and the attic were wide open, it traveled up to the front half.
Did this guy? What was he like, man? I mean, if he was in there for 4 years, you never had any clue, like were his teeth missing?
No, he had all teeth and everything like that, and he was like an IT guy, had a regular professional job. He did lift and everything, and
he did lift and everything.
Yeah,
there's who I want driving me around, a guy making meth. Yeah, it almost sounds like that movie Breaking Bad. He probably wasn't on meth, he was just making it, you think?
I have no idea. But, like, here's the other problem is, like, what do I do with this property now? Do I give it back to the bank and say, hey, it's your problem, or do I have him clean it up, or do I get, like,
how much do you think it's going to be? How much do you think it's going to be to clean up? I mean, do you have any rough estimates?
Well, this one girl, she's kind of creepy. She told me it would cost me $75,000 to $80,000 to clean it up.
How much equity do you have in the house?
I bought it in 2006 for $281,000, and then I had it appraised for in June of 2016 for $325,000, and I owe $137,000 on the property.
Yeah, I mean, you've got nothing there. I mean, this might just bankrupt you, man.
Yeah, well, the other thing is, like,
no, I wouldn't put 75 grand into it. Why would you put 75 grand into it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is, like, it's probably better for me just to tear it down and rebuild, because it was built in, like, 1950.
Well, if you've got the money to do that, but even if you tore it down, I mean, how much do you think you're going to rebuild it for? I mean, if it came in at $325, is it just a standard lot like in a neighborhood?
Yeah, well, it had the property on it, and it's got a detached garage on it.
Well, I mean, how much do you think just the lot's worth is where I'm going? Like, what, 30 grand? Is it like a Highlands Ranch lot? What do you think the lot's worth?
I have no idea. It's like right on Inglewood by the cross intersection of Bellevue and Broadway.
Scott, you're not going to have to tear it all the way down. You're going to have to strip it down to the studs and everything. Well, every square inch has to be covered with kilts.
We don't know what he's got to do on it right now, but I'm saying 75 grand. Hold on, I still want to get through to the actual insurance question because, okay, so on a renter's policy, I've never had a renter's policy. Well, actually, that's not true. I've had, but it was on a commercial thing. But, Clint, you're saying, and you've rented a lot of stuff, you rent hangars, you do all kinds of stuff. Are you saying if you have a renter's policy, it's not going to cover you from damage that the tenant does? I disagree. I think that's the whole purpose of the renter's policy.
It can if it's a casualty loss, if it's a sudden casualty loss. But this type of thing, the damage is over a long period of time, like mold or
okay, I really want to talk to Compass. And the other thing is you got to force them to show you, Scott, in your actual contract, in your agreement, in your policy, tell them, I want you to highlight where it says this is not a covered event. Where does it say meth is not a covered event? You got to ask them that. If they cancel you at this point, what do you even care?
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, like,
what insurance company is it?
I don't know if I can say the name.
Of course you can. Say it.
It's Safeco.
Okay. Well, I mean, Safeco's okay. And, in fact, you know what? They're owned by Liberty Mutual. I mean, it's a big company. Hold on. I really want to try to reach out to Brian Burns. It's going to be a tough week for experts. I guarantee it is. Everybody hold tight, 303-713-8255. I think this guy should call Wink and Wink. Husband and wife team, they're bankruptcy attorneys. They're some of the best out there. I got to tell you something. They can file quickly for them. And beyond that, you realize this, they give their personal cell numbers to attorneys that do one thing together, which is bankruptcy, that actually give you their cell numbers. Wink and Wink, give them a call, 303-410-1720. And the other thing I got to tell you, they'll let you know if a Chapter 7 or 13 is right for you. You might be able to reorganize a debt. You might not have to file. Just call them up. Wink and Wink, call Gigi right now, 303-410-1720.
Get roofs and stuff.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah.
What was that? Commercial drum.
That would suck, man. Meth in your phone.
No, that's cool. Your insurance company says can't
quality video.
I don't think every realtor should have a drone.
Yeah. You can check the roof.
I still say you wouldn't believe how long PC Answers survived on service calls like, I can't figure out how to set up my email. I can't figure out how to get my wireless internet. They put in a modem, and I can't connect anything to it. So that's all of us who know it. It's simple, but I still say the majority of people out there.
How about
it's constantly changing.
dump your TCP/IP stack and reinstall the dialer?
Yeah.
Windows 95, that was fun.
Remember,
going to the registry. People are looking at you like,
eyes glaze over.
But Mr. Stores, why do you go to Czechoslovakia?
I forgot it.
Remember C-Boss and the command cable when DSL first came out?
Where'd Suzanne go?
It's just that it's so dark over here, and the cameras don't pick up
Long as it's
anything.
coming down, I'm okay. If it's coming in, I won't see you guys.
Nate, field line 2 and put it up.
Keep it right here. If it's coming in, I won't see you guys at all.
I know the one we dealt with that the insurance didn't cover.
Much better.
It was a commercial property, so.
Compass isn't answering, so can we get our new insurance group
Yeah.
up?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, have
Yeah.
Nate's people up.
Okay.
It's not health insurance, right?
No,
As long as it's not like Integra. And then grab line 2, please.
My sister, she's an insurance agent.
We got one. So, Clint's done everything. Clint, you don't know this, but we've started a list of everything you've done.
Cool.
It's really incredible.
How long is the list?
It's fucking incredible.
We haven't found anything not.
Astronaut.
Well,
No.
wanted to be.
If you call falling out of an airplane an astronaut, okay.
If you what?
Call falling out of an airplane an astronaut.
Hopefully it was a planned fall.
No, it wasn't.
No?
No, we were up, supposed to be jumping, but the idiot in the plane banked the plane suddenly and dumped me out of it.
Obviously, you had to shoot.
Yeah, but he's not very close. We're not pretty damn close to the ground. I hit hard.
Oh, yeah, but you're here, so.
Barely.
That's a good
Good point.
I'm on my 7th life.
Let's get right down to it.
I've had about 7 things try to
Wasn't
kill me.
that
I've been
bad?
struck by lightning.
You're live.
I've been bit by rattlesnakes twice.
Wow.
You struck by lightning?
Yeah, it is indirect.
Oh,
It
okay.
jumped on the gutter and then down another thing. Boy, you talk about wiping out your computers, your modems, your
Every
phones.
piece of electronics in
Oh,
the house,
God.
yeah.
Clocks.
That's when Parker that happened to, and yeah, it took out everything. The security system we put in, his computers, all of his TVs, everything.
Even our doorbell. It got. I couldn't believe how much stuff it took out. My wife was really lucky. She stepped out the front door and was right under where they hit the gutter. But then it went from the gutter to the garage door, and from the garage door to a plastic spreader in my hand. It full of Bondo, and it blew the Bondo up everywhere. Little red dots all over the place.
Oh, man.
I got to go to that stupid iPhone store today.
What you got to go there for?
I got. Are you converting finally?
No.
I was about to say that's what you get.
Oh, man, no way, Jack.
I'm good with my Android, thank you.
I love my Android.
I've been an Android person since the G1. Leave me
You don't
alone.
have an iPhone, do you? No.
Who, me?
Yeah. You never have.
I don't have an I anything.
No, me neither.
I had an Apple II.
Yes,
Then.
My Apple IIe lasted me quite a long time.
I had an Apple II. Then I put it down
Gil
for my
didn't want to
Commodore.
talk. He has, I don't even know what their deal is. I don't have time for that. Anyway, Brandon Siglian has some comments on the meth house.
Okay.
Okay, so I have him on
Is he in this week?
tomorrow.
Why do we have more? Man, we are slow. Oh, this week's always brutal.
Sure.
See if I can get an answer. My sister's an independent agent. See if I can get an answer from her.
All right, 303-713-8255. 303
Martino. Don't forget live at Troubleshooter.com. Live at Troubleshooter.com. That number works all the time. You know, Brandon Siglian, friend of the show, of course, member on the referral list with the Siglian Law Firm. Brandon, you got a comment on this meth house. What do you make of this, man?
Yeah, so meth labs and marijuana operations, some insurance companies will cover them on what's called the vandalism.
They will or won't cover them?
Will cover it.
Okay.
So, it can be hit or miss, and some companies have taken public stances. I know
For example, on marijuana, Allstate has taken a specific stance that it will cover it under their vandalism exception.
What would they cover with marijuana, though? Like if the drywall gets ruined?
Yeah, so what they'll commonly do is they'll redo the electrical, they'll redo the duct system, they'll install fans. You know, so not necessarily all the damage will be covered, but certainly any kind of intentional destruction of the property could very well fall under the vandalism coverage under the landlord's policy. So that is the one thing. Try not to rely on a renter's policy.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine the renter's policy, but he's saying, Scott, you said you have a landlord policy, right?
Correct.
So let me ask you something, Scott. Did you actually file a claim?
Yeah, I called and filed a claim, and at first when I had
well, did they outright deny the claim? You've kind of been a little elusive on this. One time last week... Well, go ahead.
After it first started going, I had the industrial hygienist there, and he was like, save all the receipts and everything. I had an agent, and then like 2 weeks later, the lady from Liberty Mutual called me from New Hampshire and just said, I'm sorry, you're not covered. We don't cover anything I can do to help. And then she just basically said I wasn't covered.
You know, okay. And I don't know. I mean, really, you got to look at your policy. You got to ask them where in the policy, right, Brandon? I mean, that's what they got to say. Why am I not covered? Highlighted in the policy.
Right. So a couple of things, too. You got to be careful if it's just an agent that's telling you you're not covered. Agents necessarily, or brokers, don't necessarily know what all... They're not immersed in the policy. They're not the ones that make the decision to decline a claim. You need to tell them, you know, if you're going to deny the claim, I need a declination letter and tell them I believe it might be covered under vandalism.
Yeah.
They need to send you something in writing, something you can take to an attorney. They always, if they're going to deny a claim, send you something in writing that says why they're denying it.
Yeah, Scott, you got to get to that point because, I mean, if you are supposed to be covered and you're not, you could have a bad faith claim, and then you're talking a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. But hold on, I want to get one more person to chime in. Am I pronouncing this right, Aaron Castellano?
You are. That's correct.
Hey, let me ask you something. You're on our referral list with the Castellano Insurance Group. On a rent, you guys sell Safeco, Liberty Mutual, and Safeco?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, so do you guys sell that? You rep them. Is that one of the companies you rep?
Yeah, Safeco is.
So on a renter's policy, this company is telling Scott that they don't cover any damage from his tenant that was making meth in the house.
Right, well, meth is obviously a big problem because... You know,
but
would
Safeco cover it or not? I mean, I've got our attorney, Brandon Siglian, on saying right now some companies will cover it, some might actually exclude it.
Some companies, you know, I guess, so as how the policy is written, if it's not written that it's specifically excluded, then yes. I mean,
it should be covered. See, Scott, we keep circling back to the same thing. You've got to have them tell you why they're not covering it. Then we can help you move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have seen companies that have canceled clients, and not specifically the meth thing, but if you know, we had a client that had a grow operation in their house, and the company just flat canceled it. They wanted off of that risk.
Yeah, but I don't find anything wrong with that. If I was an insurance company, I would hope the landlord's doing their due diligence, unlike Scott, and know that someone's cooking meth in there. I mean, you should do a walkthrough occasionally, but that's all. None of that matters anymore. I mean, Scott, do you understand the path you have to be on right now?
Oh, yeah. And now I'm trying to figure out, is like, if the insurance company doesn't come up to play, then I either got to tear it down or sell it at a loss or just unload it, because it's like, I don't know how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, but you've got to disclose that. Who's going to buy that, Scott? Who the hell's going to buy it?
Well,
you can't sell it without...
I've already had like 2 different people already give me an offer.
Okay, how much did they offer you for the house that was meth in there and there's $75,000 or more in damage? How much did you get offered?
Probably about $200,000.
Okay, and you said you owed over how much?
I got to go back and get like what's that?
How much do you owe on the house?
137.
Okay, so help me do the math. Do you have the cash to pay it off? You just going to take a loss on it?
Oh, I can pay it off.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess whatever you're going to end up doing. But I would stick with the insurance company and make sure they tell you why it's not covered. That's your whole thing here.
Right. So long as it is listed, or I'm sorry, as long as it is not listed, not excluded in the policy, they have to cover anything that is not excluded. That's
right. And Brandon's saying he's seen them go after, you know, saying it's vandalism.
Well, I mean, they're going to try. They want to save their money, but
no. He's saying he's gotten coverage before by going after the insurance company, saying, "Hey, it's vandalism." I mean, if you have a tenant in there that spray paints the walls and takes an axe to it, you're going to be covered, right? If you got a renter's policy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't, that's where my brain doesn't see the difference. They did vandalize it. I mean, maybe not intentionally vandalism, but they ruined the house. That's what that policy is actually for. Scott, you just need to fight with them. I swear I've had Safeco, and I've never had any issues with them. In general, Aaron, are they a good company?
I have had only great claims experiences with Safeco.
All right, cool. Brandon, you got anything else to say?
No, I just wanted to make sure we get clarification because you mentioned renters insurance. It's for the renters for the renter, landlords for the landlord.
Yeah. No, a renter's policy is not going to cover this.
It's not going to cover.
No, the renter's policy won't.
Yeah.
You can't cover your own intentional acts.
Yeah.
But the landlord's policy could cover the intentional acts, i.e., the vandalism of the tenant.
All right. Thank you, one and all. Scott, you got some answers. I hope you got to go after that insurance company, man. Suzanne, you can free up all those lines, 303-713-8255. 303 Martina, One Clear Choice Garage Doors. You know what I hated in our old house? Right before I called up One Clear Choice Garage, every single time the two-car garage would open, that old chain driving thing would shake our bedroom above us. It was absolutely horrible. The loudest thing I ever heard. I'd put WD-40 on the rollers and do all that stuff, but man, it just got louder and louder, and finally I called One Clear Choice Garage Doors. They came out, they installed a 850, listen to this, a LiftMaster 8550. It's got the MyQ technology, it's got the battery backup, the time to close feature. You can get an internet gateway and control it anywhere in the world if you accidentally leave it open. You ready for this? $299 installed. You're not going to get a better deal. Don't try to do it yourself. I've done that too. It was a nightmare weekend and I never got it finished. Call One Clear Choice Garage Doors. 303-565-6409, 303-565-6409, or OneClearChoiceDoors.com.
Which Safeco is looking into it for me.
Well, it's all going to be in his policy.
I know, but they're...
It sounds like he's covered. I mean, I don't know why it's
totally excluded there. I don't know why they would. It sounds like he should be covered. That makes no kind of sense, especially since it's
damage caused by the renter.
Yeah, and he's blind to it. He has no idea. Right. Okay. So
I'd be looking through my own policy right now to see where it says we don't cover it.
I was going to say, like cement callers, it looks like he was looking past the immediate problem, though, of dealing with the insurance company. What do I do with the house? They said no, so okay, I'll
He started sounding actually funny towards the end. That's why I started wanting, you know, at one time, it just started sounding a little fishy.
I'm going to say this. How long did the guy live there?
4 years.
How do you let it go that long?
Right. 4 years.
How have you not inspected?
Yeah, but how would you know? Can you smell it?
Hell yes.
Okay.
Mark, this guy's been in this house for 4 years.
Yeah, he never did a
walk. He's collected money from the guy for 4 years. He doesn't sound that old. He doesn't sound like he doesn't understand or know. Okay, who he rented to. I mean, I'm just speculating here, but...
Well, and they said that it's getting through the whole house, so, I mean, they were probably getting symptoms from it for anyone else that was actually living there and just...
You know, I've been a landlord since I was a kid, literally. My dad owned half the houses on Auburn Street in Florida. We've always had rentals. We've never had this happen, but you've got to be on top of this stuff.
Well, they didn't have meth back then.
Well, but they've had other things, you know, that have happened to, you know.
I think meth is the worst, though, just because, you know, they blow shit up. Or actually, just these guys trying to make hash.
Some serious fires there.
What do you got cooking, Dano?
I want the swipe to stay down. I can't get it.
The place that we cleaned up was a shoe repair store.
That's right. If I would have had rubber band, I would have used the shoe. That would help cover the smell.
Yeah. I even remember the guy. His name was Boris Pillman. He was a real Russian guy. They had a meth lab in the back, but it wasn't covered. And I remember the reason they said it wasn't covered is that they couldn't put a data loss on it.
Well, that's possible, but I mean, this guy can.
Yeah. Well, this is a commercial policy, and this was quite a while ago too. So you know. It may have changed.
You can I would assume you could basically start saying the damage started when the guy moved in. So
a Safeco agent says typically intentional damages by a tenant are not covered. But he does need to read his policy and check his exclusions, so.
Say that again. It's intentional damages by a tenant are not
Typically,
covered.
intentional damages by a tenant are not covered.
Of course they are. That's what the renter's policy is for.
What happens if you had a party and they started knocking holes in the wall?
How about that? Hey, I'm gonna evict you. Oh, you are? I'm gonna take a fucking chainsaw and cut your house down. That's why you have that policy.
You can be as dumb as a stick, but almost all insurance has to do with an accident, not an intentional act. If
Not an intentional act by yourself, by the insured. The whole purpose of a renter's or of a landlord's policy is to insure against assholes.
No, the renter policy, absolutely.
The renter, if he intentionally damaged the property, it's a crime.
When he's in jail for it.
But that's what that exact insurance is for.
Not typically.
Say you burn the house down.
I know, but it's not an intentional act.
No.
Generally not.
Maybe you'd be glad.
Sometimes if they burn the house down, what happens? The only one that's covered is the bank.
Clint, if you have a landlord's policy and the guy burns your house down intentionally because you're getting ready to evict him, that's exactly what that's for. That's exactly what that policy. Here's what people fuck up on. Because those policies cost so much, they act like they're living there, just do a normal homeowner's policy.
Right. Well,
then if something happens, they're fucked.
Well, if he has a special policy for a landlord,
yeah, that's all we're talking about.
He has literally a standard homeowner's policy.
No, standard homeowners.
Oh, well, okay, then you're right. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that part. You are correct.
Someone record him saying that.
That doesn't happen before. Can you sign this paper here?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part. I kept hearing something about a renter's policy. The renter's policy is typically taken out by the renter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And then intentional acts.
But let me ask for this again.
Well,
This is
it doesn't look like we're overwhelmed with calls today, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a weird week.
It's Christmas sale.
Oh, man, I knew this week would be brutal.
This is always a gone period of time. Yesterday was done at noon. Everybody was either asleep or bored to death.
We went and saw a movie up at the movie tavern. It was pretty good. I forget the name of it. It was good, man. It was about the Getty Oil Company.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which movie tavern?
You realize he was the richest man in the world for a while?
J. Paul Getty, was it Standard
Paul
Oil?
Getty.
Yeah. Standard Oil that he started? J. Paul Getty? I think so.
I don't know. It was more of an action-packed adventure.
Really?
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. Guys, I got to ask everybody in here. John, I want to know, when do you think fully autonomous driving vehicles? I don't mean like my car right now will stay in the lanes by itself. I can literally let go of the wheel and it will drive itself, but I can't get into the back seat. I got to grab the wheel within like 15 seconds, or else the car will simply exit that mode because it's not to be set up as an autopilot. So when do you think, and everybody in here, when do you think a fully autonomous vehicle will be here, where literally I can jump in the back seat, or like an Uber, we don't need an Uber driver that steals phones like the one that stole my phone, but we can just hop in the car and go?
Well, I think the biggest challenge, probably over the next 10 years, that relates to that is artificial intelligence.
I'm sorry. You are so far off. These things are going to be here next year.
No, they're not, just because people don't want it.
There's some rules.
People don't want it.
Who doesn't want it?
The average public, when they're driving their car, want to drive their car.
No, they don't.
Would you trust climbing into the back seat of a car right now?
Compared to like one of these jokers driving.
Well, I guess everything's relative.
Honest to God. Okay, listen, right here. Tesla says true autonomous driving by 2023. Jaguar and Land Rover, 2024. Nissan will provide fully autonomous vehicles by 2020, says CEO. That's less than 2 years away. Let's see here. Where's Ford? Where's the... Intel says 2022, basically all the vehicles will be that way. 10 years, this is a problem when you age.
How many do you think they'll sell? And the big problem
it's all going to be in how much are they?
They've got to figure out the artificial intelligence. I've read a lot of stuff about okay, do we kill this one person here to avoid killing the person that's in the car?
Well, what do you? Okay, that's the ethical answers that need to be answered.
And that's what.
And I can answer most of these questions. Seriously,
you've got the ethical answer.
Dave, here's what he's saying. He's saying, okay, so here's my vehicle, and there's not enough time to stop, and 2 people jump out in the road. Right. One is 3 feet tall, one's 8 feet tall. And it can calculate the average age, maybe based on height. The computer's smart enough to make some adjustments. But if ultimately it's got to hit one person, I'd say hit the older guy.
Well, yeah, I suppose they'd prefer that logic, too.
Well, I mean, these kind of things are going to be actually really there.
Absolutely.
I don't like that plan to hit the older guy.
Now, how about if it's like, if it's a deer or a dog or a mammal or an animal of some sort compared to a human, it would make the decision. That would be simple.
I assume that kind of capability is going to be there already. But, you know, we already had the important autonomous vehicle. We already had the autonomous beer truck go from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs down I-25.
So. No, what was that?
Yeah, it was.
That's a real deal?
Yeah, 6 months ago or so, they actually took an automated beer truck down I-25 from Fort Collins.
With not a driver in it?
Well, the drivers were sitting in the passenger seats.
Was it one of those Tesla vehicles, or those aren't out yet?
It's not. It wasn't Tesla. I'd have to look it up and find the details. But it was maybe this last summer or last spring where they did a run during one rush hour.
Doesn't Google have the autonomous cars? The Google cars?
They do. They're everywhere. Here's the part that blows me away is Tom thinks the same thing. They're like 10 years. Maybe 10 years before they're like super normal. But I think you're going to be able to buy one 2019.
Oh, I agree. You can buy one and you know, you can go out and buy it. But the interesting thing we're going to run into is you've heard of Sophia, right?
No.
That robot that Saudi Arabia gave full citizenship to?
Sophia?
Yeah.
No. God, where do you get... What are you, Clint?
Your head's in the sand. You haven't heard about Sophia, who's been given all these speeches as a female robot that Saudi Arabia gave her full citizenship.
I'm going to look her up.
Cool. Well, now that she's evolved, now in Saudi Arabia as a citizen, this artificially intelligent robot is promoting women's rights in Saudi Arabia. So as AI comes along, I think it's going to be something over the next...
That's incredible.
Two to 10 years.
It's a women's liber in Saudi Arabia that's actually a robot.
Right. And she's evolved into that. It was about 6 months ago.
So you're telling me the artificial intelligence is actually working?
Apparently it is. And for some reason, it fascinates me, and it's also a scary thing. And I think that's what a lot of us old folks will worry about with AI.
Let me ask you this. In fact, I'll go to Talib real quick. Talib, if robots like this one he's talking about, what's her name again?
Sophia.
Sophia. If they were so lifelike, you couldn't tell the difference. You know, it doesn't look like a robot. It looks and feels like a human. Do you see any purpose in having a spouse?
I'm hoping my wife...
Move that mic over there. Seriously. I mean, do you think it would get to the point if you could actually program your own spouse in every which way, and I'm not talking... I don't want to get into the sex part or any of that stuff. I'm saying the companion. If the robot truly would be the exact kind of companion you'd want, why would anybody get married going forward?
That's the reason for dogs, boy.
To make babies.
That's perfect, yes. She's absolutely right.
Yeah, procreation.
That's true. But, oh, man, you know, the Chinese already have all kinds of weird stuff when it comes to that. Robots that do all kinds of stuff. I don't know, guys. I think the world is changing way quicker than most of us think.
If Suzanne could have the perfect robot companion, you wouldn't be married.
Could I kill the robot and not go to jail?
Yeah.
You know, that's true. It's not an autonomous being, so you could.
Yeah, that's true. Can you murder a robot? Eric, what's your comment?
So I got 2 comments on it. First off, on the autonomous vehicle.
Yes.
The beer truck, the part that they never bothered to tell everybody was Colorado State Patrol gave that truck an escort to make sure nobody got in its way.
Oh, so it was kind of like a bogus... Well, it was a true test.
Right. But here's the other part.
But you can't say it's autonomous then because it's got an escort and there's drivers inside. Even if it was, they were still scared.
Right.
Yeah, I would guess.
What kind of beer was it? What kind of beer? Does anybody know? Was it like Coors?
It ran from Budweiser down to a distributor in Colorado Springs.
Boy, that's a trip.
Here's the other part of it. I'm just thinking of the whole Zager and Evans song, In the Year 2525.
What is it? What's it say? I don't know.
In the year 2525, if man is still around.
Oh. Yeah, if we're still here.
You're way too young,
That's
Mark.
like the Terminator, man. Remember that? Those guys, huh? The robots and all that? That could happen.
Sounds a little bit like a Conan O'Brien routine, though.
Yeah.
Mark, the Airbus 320,
yes.
Is it basically autonomous? They program the landing, takeoff, and the flight.
Everything.
Everything.
That's cool, man. Then how come there's pilots sitting in there, Clint? Why? Seriously.
Would you get on board if there wasn't?
I don't know. You know, you were holding up that picture right now in Dubai. They have taxis that are, I always want to say hovercrafts. That's pretty old. But they're, what do you call them? Drones. And, you know, they're 4 propeller, 6 propeller. And you hop in on one building and it takes you to the next. There's no one flying it. It's you inside there all by yourself. I mean, I don't think I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem hopping in the back seat. I'm dying to have a car that drives me to work. I totally disagree with you, John. If you got up this morning and could have, you live how many hours away now that you moved out to the middle of nowhere?
No, it's an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on weather.
Yeah, okay. Wouldn't it be a lot nicer if you could just hop in, you know, read your tablet, read the Denver Post, drink your coffee, and drive here?
We've all worked on computers. You think I'm going to trust a computer to drive on icy roads in the fog and bring me in here and not have some kind of crash?
To think, Mike, that a computer couldn't do a better job than a human driving is insane.
Well, here's the deal on that, though. Everyone assumes that the artificial intelligence is a problem because it isn't sophisticated enough, it's not refined enough. But this guy earlier was talking about how a Lyft driver was also a meth lab creator or whatever,
exactly.
Right? So, fact of the matter is that you really have to question everybody just as much, right? You got the Airbus pilots. Who's to say the Airbus pilot's not drunk when he gets on the plane because he knows it's going to fly itself, right? So now the AI fails, and now you have a drunk pilot trying to figure out how to land a airplane the size of a bus.
You know,
so it's the situation normal, then, you're saying?
Yeah. Mike said something a while back that I did not know. You have a new Camaro. It's a nice, fast Camaro. He wanted a standard, or, he wanted a shift. It's really not standard anymore.
Manual
now automatic should be standard. An automatic now is standard.
Correct.
Okay. Anyhow, so I said, why?
Because I like to drive my car.
Yeah, but it's slower. And here's what's remarkable. It is.
Not in your car, my friend.
Automatic transmission, the computer in a Camaro that's automatic, is faster than you shifting. Because the computer's faster.
It does shift faster, but it doesn't allow me to drop it into third whenever I'm going down a hill. And
if you went 0 to 60, the one that relies on the computer's faster. Agreed?
The computer shifts faster than I do, but it doesn't necessarily shift better than I do.
Well, yeah, okay.
Mark,
my point is the computer's much quicker. Hold on, I gotta take a break. I want to say something real quick. There's a guy that helped Suzanne and I out a few times. One, selling our house. One, buying our house. And when I say Frank Duran, the real estate man, saved us $70,000 plus buying our new house and selling our house. He came in and said, Mark, I don't want to list it for this price you're talking about. I want to list it for less. I said, Frank, what are you, crazy? I think I can get this for it. He said, trust me. I said, okay, Frank, I trust you. And I do trust him. He'd listed it for less than I wanted to list it for. It created a bidding war, and I ended up getting more, listen to me, more than I originally wanted. That's what Frank Duran, the real estate man, can do for you. 303-920-1622 in the Denver metro area. And I got to tell you, too, Stephanie Thomas in Colorado Springs, one of the best realtors I know in that area. I've known her and her husband for years and years and years in the Colorado Springs area. Stephanie Thomas on our referral list. In the Denver metro area, Frank Duran, the real estate man.
What's that? You got the Tremec 6 speed? Keep it 6?
His car can't steer itself. It doesn't have a heads-up display.
And
when I open the doors, the
described.
side view mirrors don't shoot.
Oh, you don't have a match.
You
doesn't have a match signal.
Genesis, yeah.
Mike enjoys the fun of driving.
Exactly. That's where I was going.
Yeah,
that's where I was going to go.
I was going to say, if you ever been to Vanderbilt, Mark, have you ever raised a Vanderbilt?
Once. Chrysler 300s.
Well, that's just it.
It's the fun of driving. And you don't have to be old to enjoy it.
And I manually shift my tongue. But if you're old, watch out for the car. I am going downhill.
I want third gear. I want third gear.
Exactly. You know that Tremec 6-speed, because that 6 gear is so high.
You still got your Chrysler?
I have 755 horse.
Actually, yeah.
Short bed, and I get 31 miles per gallon on the highway because it's 1,800 RPM at 70 miles an hour.
Exactly.
And you know, and it's more fun, and you have the automatic is programmed to do one thing.
Right.
But you can do more things. And I agree with Mark.
My point is the computers are going to be they can calculate faster than we can.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're looking at that wheel sensor, it's doing this. It hits ice, there's a change. We don't know that. It can calculate that minute detail to straighten the vehicle out way better than any Uber driver.
And my manual transmission Camaro, can find ice.
What's the argument?
The argument is, how do you like to drive, or how do you like to ride? Okay, if I like to ride
well,
in
then
comfort,
you put it in manual mode.
If I like to ride in comfort, I want your AI car, and I'll sit in the damn back seat and take a ride.
Okay? And when wouldn't you want that? When wouldn't you want that?
When I want that?
Yes.
When I'm going where I want to go.
Yeah.
My wife's
when I'm going where I want to go, I want to drive. When I'm going where my wife wants me to go, I'd rather ride.
It doesn't slip a wheel. Right.
It's real simple.
The thing beeps and sets off an alarm.
Man,
turn here, no, stop.
And you
know,
said,
those LiDARs.
I wonder what you could possibly be asking about.
Me sleep.
Yeah, like that.
When you said manual mode, that'll be the secret to autonomous
being
accepted, because you will have to have the option where you can turn off the computer.
I think the problem with autonomy.
Here's the problem with manual
I think the problem with autonomy is people.
Yeah, you're right.
Not the vehicle.
If you insure your vehicle as it's going to do the right thing every time, it's not going to speed, it's not going to fast brake, it's not going to fast accelerate. It's going to be the safest vehicle out there. If there's a manual override, your insurance is still going to be high as shit.
I think it's going to take way longer than you think for all that to come to be.
I don't. I don't.
All right.
2020, 2022.
It'll take a lot to convince.
I'm not saying you would go out and buy one, but why wouldn't you?
But no, I think in 5 years it could be a mainstream product.
5 years it would be something you could buy. I agree with that.
Yeah, you go down to auto days and you're going to have the Camaro, and then you're going to have the Drive Myself.
Out of this group, the only person who'd want to buy one would probably be Mark.
Right.
So that's what they're marketing.
No. I mean, listen, for a long road trip, for like 10 hours back and forth to Texas all the time, it would be sick to have just something automatic. I can go in the back seat, I can work, I can do what I need to do while it's putting down the road. But every other time,
they want to control it.
You know what I'm saying? If it's less than 5 hours, I want to drive.
Yeah, driving is fun.
Like a wire, like a fly-by-wire jet.
Yeah. So like you asked the question, on an Airbus, why do they still have pilots? It's in case the computer goes down.
Yeah.
And because, like you said, people would not fly in it if there was an empty cockpit. They'd be like, oh man, I don't trust a freaking computer.
I don't know about that. They fly around in Dubai in those things.
It looks scary enough when you look up there and there's no controls in front of the pilot. They have no yoke.
No, I don't fly by.
No yoke, man. No yoke.
No yoke at all.
Pull up.
Yeah. Seats right?
They don't actually directly control. All they control is the computer. They said you can throw the stick way over and it does a 15-degree bank no matter what.
Yeah.
Wow. Because it knows that that's the maximum bank rate or whatever.
Yeah, the maximum bank rate for passengers. Comfort.
Oh yeah, and the way the computers correlate with the radar to fly you through a thunderstorm. That's cool on Airbus.
I don't think we're that far. I don't think the technology is that far.
Oh, the technology is there. It's got to get cost effective.
Technology is always here.
It is weird thinking of decision.
It's the trust level.
Technology is always here. It's always
you know those Google cars.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. We've got lots of stuff going on. We've got a Richmond home problem.
You know, Richmond, I got to say, how many complaints have we had on these people, Suzanne? It's never ending.
Several over the last 6 or 8 months.
It's ungodly. Here's the problem. And it's not just them, but because they're one of the larger builders, the warranty work, it's killing people. They can't find people to work for them that can fix stuff or, for that matter, somewhat build stuff. Construction costs so much right now. You realize a lot of people that have coverage on their house, homeowners, you better make sure that it actually is the cost to rebuild your house in case of a fire or complete destruction. And the reason I say that is labor is crazy right now. Materials are crazy. You could have a rebuild policy on your house for $300,000 and find out you can't even rebuild your house for $300,000. So make sure that you have the right coverage, and I mean that. Just check up with your whoever's doing your insurance. If you use Compass Insurance, of course, they'll stay on top of it and check it, but you got to watch this stuff. All right, 303-713-8255. Tom's got a question. Tom, what's going on?
No, I don't have a question. I wanted to just throw in on the self-driving cars.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. What do you think of them?
Well, I'm a big fan of Elon Musk. I got a settlement coming, and if it's enough, I want to get a Tesla. And what he says we're at with Tesla's self-driving is right now on their test tracks, their self-driving tech is beating human competency.
Oh, I'm sure they're beating humans.
But as far as time span, he says, give me 2 more years to work on the technology, another 3 years to get the government to regulate it. And then as far as all driving jobs being lost, he's estimating about 20 years.
Here's my understanding with Tesla, is their technology as we know it right now cannot do it. They literally are redoing everything. The technology in a 2018 Tesla model whatever does not have the technology to do it. They simply can't do it that way.
Well,
it's not hold on, man. It's not flying by GPS. It's completely different than Chevrolets. It's completely different than a lot of the Google cars and stuff. They're just not there yet, man. They're behind. And people hate to hear that about Tesla because Tesla was really the first to have super cool stuff. And in fact, they're going to have the fastest car you can buy next year, period, end of story. So they're a great company for certain things, but, Tom, they are going to be 5 or 6 years behind the competition.
But can I correct you there?
Sure, you can try.
Like the motors and stuff are set up for it, but yeah, the computer system hasn't downloaded the app. But there's a guy here in Denver that does YouTube videos. I think it's spelled D-A-E-R-I-K for Derek. And he'll drive around town here with the same way yours works. He doesn't have to touch the wheel, but he can't get in the back seat.
Yeah.
But I do agree with the other guy that even though it is going to be
Audi 2020. I mean, I'm just reading all these CEOs.
Like I do want to drive my own car if I have the choice.
That's what these guys say. I differ. Thank you for that. 303-713-8255. Talib, you were saying something. You rather drive. I think you're nuts. Actually, what you said was, if you're going to where you want to go, you want to drive. If you're going where Belinda wants to go, you want to sit in the back. You said something like that.
I'm going to throw a rock when I'm at your house.
I'm just saying. It was something like that.
No, what I actually said was, if all vehicles were autonomous, then
get in front. If they were all autonomous.
What I said is, if all vehicles were autonomous, then I would probably trust it a lot better. I'd believe that it was working.
Yeah, okay. We're going to come back. Hold on. We're going to come back, talk about that. We've got a lot going on. Mike, I promise we'll get into that. And Kim, I'll get to you in that Richmond home problem. Another one. I can't stand it. All right, everybody, hang tight. We got a lot going on. I'm Mark Major, and this is the Troubleshooter Network.
80% of Fortune 500 companies lease their vehicles because that's the...
A long trip from Franktown to here would be very nice.
Well, what do you drive every day?
A Genesis.
Yeah.
Did you hear that was the third behind Tesla and Porsche, the third best consumer-rated car?
What?
It was a Genesis.
Oh, yeah, I know. No, it's way up there. Plus their price per, I mean, it's not even close, man. My car is less than half of cars that don't have half the shit.
I saw one. It didn't say Hyundai anywhere on it, does it?
No.
But we know it's a Hyundai.
Well, I know.
No. It's like Lexus. Lexus is not a Toyota. Up until 2 years ago, it was called a Hyundai Genesis. Now it's called a Genesis G70 or G90 or whatever it is.
I go on Kelly Blue Book.
Unlike the Camaro, the Camaro is just a Chevy still.
What year
Chevy.
Camaro you got? 17.
A very fast, fun Chevy.
No, it's kind of like
GM has really done
Dude,
a lot.
that car is ridiculous. I had a buddy that came up about 2 weeks ago, and he had a 2010 Camaro, and we swapped off on 285 just for a little bit, just because I've never driven one of the 5th gens. And dude, it's night and day. I mean, it is not even the same car.
Mark, you're not going to believe what I just got. Gil just texted me.
Yeah.
Tom's landlord wants him out today.
What do you mean?
Tom lives in the basement. His landlord didn't get permission from the landlord. The landlord says he's out of here.
Well, why would they even bring it up to the landlord?
I don't know. The landlord's out of town in Florida. They shouldn't have said.
Wow.
I didn't realize that he was renting.
Tom? Yeah, he's in the basement, renting in the basement. He has Gil sharing the basement.
Okay, it's all.
I don't even know what to do with this guy anymore.
Oh, well, that I can see why there. So the landlord lives.
This
up
is
above.
just like that other homeless deal. We were going to give a car away. The dumbest thing anybody's ever come up with. Give a car away to a homeless lady.
With no driver's license.
No driver's license. It just never stopped.
She's wanted.
I wanted to like kill everybody involved. Oh yeah. Then it finds out she's wanted. She's on the lam.
Was Al involved in that somewhere with donating a car?
Why she's wanted.
Why is she wanted?
Urinating in public. Failure to appear.
Hey, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Who hasn't done that?
Come out to my 5 acres.
Dave, you urinated in public.
Who hasn't?
That's why I moved to Franktown.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's right.
The first thing one of our neighbors told us, because he can see part of his house from our property,
to leave you
if
urinated.
you see me outside peeing, don't be offended, because when you go, you just go.
It's better just to walk out of the room.
Come back
in your yard. You see that burn spot over there by the corner?
Hey, my dog constantly urinates in public.
So now I know if I ever go visit Mark, there's a dead spot in the corner.
We were given a car. So we give a car to a homeless lady, or we're going to. So, because she, of course...
out the house and be homeless. Give me a car.
It was unbelievable. Everything went wrong, man. She didn't have a driver's license. Never had a driver's license.
Oh, my goodness.
Was wanted by the police. She's on the lam. The whole fucking thing.
And you were going to give her a car.
And we were going to give her a car.
Provide the getaway vehicle.
Great. Good plan.
Now we helped this other guy out last week, Gil, and it's turning into the exact same thing.
Yeah, well, I guess I can see this, though.
How about the lady, Shauna? She was always my favorite. I got her a place for 2 weeks, found her a permanent place in a nice basement, full mother-in-law basement in Montbello. Full deal, man. I mean, it's got its own bathroom, its own entryway. She's sneaking men down there, running a brothel out of it a week after I get her the place.
Trying to make ends meet, Mark.
You should have I'm with you.
Was that a double You gotta make money, you do what you do, you know.
Is that wrong?
Is what wrong? Making ends meet?
Yeah.
Context-sensitive question there.
She's limited to one a day.
One a day, huh? One good one.
Ruth and I were dying that one day. This is what, 3-4 weeks ago when we had that guy who was on the lam who had all the warrants out for him.
Oh, the cops.
You appears and you're like, turn yourself in or they're going to come shoot you. Like,
Oh, God, I've
been
been
out there.
forever on the phone.
Two state patrol guys reached out to me after that wanting copies of that. That was all legit, man. That dude was on the lam.
He just,
He was a nut. He
Tom
was
was,
gonna get killed.
Tom was so patient with him.
I know, I kept saying, look who you're talking to. He's
I was
a
on the
nut.
phone with him for 40 minutes.
You all are nuts.
Oh, that makes for good
I cut through
radio,
the
though,
shit,
but
man.
I'm
I
like,
can't deal with nuts.
Uh-huh.
My God.
Is anybody watching this TV program called The Girlfriend Experience?
no.
What is it? Netflix? What is it?
I think it's just regular TV. I mean, somewhere on cable.
Yeah.
Girlfriend Experience, okay. GFE is the social term for it. Technically, what's going on is women are, in this movie, in this show, women are becoming essentially prostitutes, high-end prostitutes.
All women?
No, the women that go into the GFE, the girlfriend experience. Okay?
Got it. Oh, I get it. Girlfriend experience.
Yeah, the girlfriend experience.
I get you.
They're being put up in apartments. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They're doing this stuff with these guys with money like Dave. I mean,
I'm really sitting in the wrong chair here.
but guys, they're doing guys with money, and they're becoming their girlfriends. All these guys got wives. All these guys got all this kind of stuff. But in the show, I'm at episode 5 right now, and this should just go straight downhill for this poor girl.
And you're still watching it. You're going to watch episode 6.
I got to wait to see how low it goes. Okay? She's quasi-sociopathic to start with. Okay? She's got this thing about she doesn't waste her time with anyone, family, anybody, nobody. Okay? She's a lawyer. She's becoming a lawyer. She's doing an internship at this high-end law firm, but this girl that she lives with stays with her. Is in this really, really nice place, and she lives in a damn trade. So eventually her friend tells her, well, you probably work out pretty good in this.
All right, guys.
It is wild.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. What do? We solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. My favorite, though, is we get directly involved. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. You know what? Or if you just want to spread the word. Maybe you dealt with a bad contractor. Lately, we've been getting more and more on contractors, and then this is going to lead me right into this next call. Kim with Richmond Homes, who I'm going to go to first, but probably the, 50th call this month on contractors. 50th. And it's all of them. It's new ones, it's window companies, it's roofers, it's everything. I want to say something that a good friend of mine says all the time. And when I say this, I'm not even going to put a caveat up. Tom will usually put a caveat up about this, but listen. In fact, Jay Brett's at Excel Roofing. You know what he says? You know what his motto is? Don't pay a cent until you're content. That's how I live my life. I don't care if it was a guy that came out and did our pond or our water feature. I don't care if it's a painter that I have over. I don't care if it's an auto repair shop. I don't pay a cent till I'm content. I really don't. I can't think of any reason. Well, okay, there's some special order stuff, but still, if you're dealing with a good company, I just don't see the purpose in it. Kim, what's going on with your problem with Richmond Homes?
Oh, wow. Me and my husband purchased a home a year ago, which would be Thursday.
Yeah.
We've had nothing but issues with our carpet.
What's wrong with the carpet?
The carpet is the transition. It's like both. When they tacked it down, they did it too tight. They've had to come out so many times to try to fix it, which they did put new carpet in part of my living area, but they messed it up even more, where they didn't tack it down.
Do they acknowledge they got to get this fixed or what?
No, they told me that they're not going to do it, that there's no issues. I have a lot of pictures.
Was it just not stretched properly? I'm trying to understand this. I've never heard of overstretched.
Yeah, it was not stretched properly. The transition on some of the carpet is not tacked down where it's popping up.
Yeah.
Going down the stairs, it's like a hole right there where they don't want to fix. And then there's a bunch of seams. I understand there's seams in carpet.
I'd love to see pictures of this. Here's what it's going to come down to. Is it industry standard? And I don't know. You can send us some pictures. Maybe I can have an expert go out. We've got guys on the referral list that are the absolute best out there. Buddy Mitchell and Simply Floors. I guarantee even if they were working for Richmond, Richmond just hires subs, but if it was Simply Floors, you wouldn't have these problems. Buddy Mitchell and the gang down there are absolutely, positively the best. Here's what I'd like to do. What I'd like to do, Kim, is see if we can't get Buddy to go out and look at it and see if it's industry standard.
Okay.
Where do you live?
I live at, is this going all over the air?
I don't want your actual address. Do you live like in, let's limit it to a city?
Thornton, Colorado.
Hey, Mark.
Where? Thornton?
Yeah.
That'll be perfect, actually. Go ahead.
If she emails me some pictures, I know Buddy will be happy to look at the pictures. Maybe he can make an assessment without going out there.
That would be great. Let's do that. And
I also have another issue
what
with
is it?
our bathroom.
sorry. Our bathrooms, we've had to tear out one bathroom where we moved into our home. At least it went into our storage. The tile is, the top is like nice and gray, but the bottom is really white and chalky. And they came out to try to fix it, made it worse. They gave me some money on one of the bathrooms, but the other bathrooms they didn't want to do.
Oh, wait, you just scared the heck out of me, Kim. Did you sign anything when they gave you that money? Of course you did.
Tile, we got the check for $450.
Yeah. Do you have a copy of what you signed?
I don't think they gave me a... Yes, you do? Yes, we do.
Okay, I just hope you didn't sign a general release. It covers the carpet, covers everything.
Okay.
Send it. I don't know if you did or not. I mean, I got to tell you, to me, Richmond has been real shady lately. I realize there's problems with, you know, warranty work and getting the right labor, but, man, as soon as you said they wrote you a check, I hope you didn't sign everything away.
It was just for the tile. It wasn't for the carpet.
Well, send me over what you signed. You're saying that, but once again, I mean, they're acting sketchy here. So I want pictures of the tile. Okay. Actually, I don't even care about the tile. I want what you signed, and then let's get pictures of the carpet. The tile, you accepted the money, it's done, it's over. There's nothing we're going to do, but let's get Buddy Mitchell involved. Hold on. Suzanne's going to get all your information, and while I'm thinking of it, honestly, folks, if you need luxury vinyl tile, if you need the wonderful carpet Suzanne and I got, life-proof carpet, it's got a water backing, nothing leaks through it, nothing gets into the pad. If you've got pets, dogs, kids, it's absolutely the best product out there. Hardwoods, laminates, Simply Floors Inc. Just go on there. You can get an appointment. They'll come right to you. You'll save up to 40% off those other guys. SimplyFloorsInc.com. SimplyFloorsInc.com. Mike, what's going on with you, sir?
All right. I've been off work since 15th of December, all right?
Okay.
I drive big truck.
Oh, okay.
And I was out for medical reasons. I workman's comp claim, but that's a whole different story.
All right, so hold on. So on the 15th was your last day of work. Do you drive a big rig?
Yes.
Now, do you drive for yourself or do you drive for a company? You said workman's comp, I assume. And what's the company name?
Specialized Rail Service.
Is that a real big one? I don't know.
No, they're big, but they're not what you would consider big.
Okay, but you drove for them. You got hurt on the job. What's going on?
All right. I've been out of work. I get a phone call on, or a text message from one of the guys on Christmas morning that one of the trucks had gotten stolen. The office was vandalized, and all the keys were taken to all the trucks.
Oh, man.
All
that
right?
sucks.
Yeah. Now,
how does this affect you, though?
Well, I came in today, got released back to work this morning, came in, and a bunch of my crap has been stolen. My truck's been ransacked.
Oh, man. So they broke into the office, they grabbed all the keys, and then they basically went through and rummaged through everything and took stuff.
Yeah, in my truck and sold.
Yeah, they're a bunch of thieves. They're a bunch of deadbeats. So how can I help you?
Well, I want to know, I'm sure I am, but I just wanted to have my decent, intelligent response on this. Who's responsible? I mean, I just replaced...
Who's responsible is the idiots that actually broke the law and stole everything.
I understand that.
Now, if the company... Here's where you're going. Was the company negligent? Does the company owe you anything? That's really what you're asking, right?
Yeah.
Now, if they were so negligent, for example, that they left the keys on the side of the door and parked it downtown near the shelter, you might be able to make that argument. But someone breaking into the building, grabbing all the keys and rummaging through multiple trucks, I think they're not responsible.
All right.
It
but
sucks.
The guys who had their own keys that weren't in the office, their trucks didn't get broken into.
Well, once again, though, if they did, was it normal? In other words, every other night when no one did break in and grab keys and rummage through everything, was there anything different this day, or it was just the same thing and some bad guy did it? Now, if you could prove it was an employee, it would still be tough, man. No, it would still be tough. The liability is not going to fall on them. It's going to fall on the thief. Let's put it this way. Let's look at it this way. How about if I go to Walmart and I park my car, and I come out and someone broke into my car and stole my radar detector?
All right, yeah, kind of what I was figuring. I mean, I admit I'm responsible.
If there was negligence,
I didn't get all my stuff out of my truck before I went on workman's comp. I understand.
Yeah, but it still sucks. I mean, you know, a lot of companies, might help you out or throw you a bone.
Yeah, I mean, I just went to replace my GPS. It was $500. My dash cam was another $200. So
why do you have your own? Why do you have your own dash cam? Why do you? That just seems a little weird. It's off subject.
I protect myself.
In other words, if someone says you cut them off, or someone calls up that sign on the back of your truck, whatever.
3 years ago, I was driving up.
In case Mike pulls in front of you, Talib's around you driving.
A guy swore I did that. I had my own dash cam.
And it's smart.
And I won.
That's cool, man.
Mike, do you have homeowners insurance?
Protecting my butt. Yes, we do have homeowners insurance.
It won't cover the vehicle.
No, I don't care about the vehicle. I'm worried about, because now I'm looking at another $1,000 worth of tools they took.
If it was, there's a certain percentage in your homeowner's policy of stuff that's covered away from home, and I've had GPSs and cell phones and stuff like that covered on my homeowners that were stolen out of a car.
Okay.
Might be worth the call. You got to calculate, you know, if it's there. I mean, if it's a small percentage, I mean, like cash and stuff like that, they never cover. But I don't know. Maybe, Clint, you got something on this one. But I don't know. You just got to add it up, man. What's your deductible?
Well, it won't meet my deductible. That's the problem. That's why I just went out and bought my GPS.
Yeah, it just
my dash cam replaced it. And stuff like that. I mean, you know, it's all immaterial, and I'm hoping we find the guy. And the sad part was the landlord on the property we have moved our property down, tore our fence down, rearranged things, and has yet to install the gate.
All right, sir. Well, hopefully they get that done. I appreciate the call. I feel horrible your stuff got stolen. You know, I was looking at Talib and Dave here. We all worked in the same shop for a long period of time. I mean, going way back. What years are we talking? How far back was the Cyber Cafe?
I started with Mountain Peak in '97.
Remember Peter Boyles would come in.
I was his webmaster for a while.
This was during the Ramsey stuff, too. So Boyles would come in, and he'd type to everybody. He'd come in all the time, almost every day after the show. Do you remember what he'd always want to eat? Chinese food from that place in the mall.
Golden Shanghai, absolutely.
I remember we were up and buzzing. We had 500 people probably on our internet service. Everybody was connected. And I said to one of you, and I don't remember, I feel embarrassed, I said to one of you, hey, would you guys go vacuum the server room?
Yes.
And Dave, I'm assuming at this point, plugged in the vacuum to the battery backups.
Oh.
He single-handedly crashed 500 people connected to the internet in a matter of seconds.
And to anyone listening out there, I said he would tell the story, and he did.
It was incredible. All of a sudden, it was almost like a movie, like the nuclear. Okay, Christmas Vacation, when he finally gets the lights on, and the entire city goes black except for the Griswold house. It was like that. You took down the entire Mountain Peak internet system with a Hoover.
I'm effective. That's all I can say.
It was unbelievable. Do you remember Denny's coming back from the Emerald database training? We stopped at Denny's.
Oh, man.
And the glasses of water.
Oh, yes.
All right.
We stopped at Denny's in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yep.
Near midnight.
Yes.
Mark.
Wait, we're not going to tell it. We're not going to tell it
I'm not going to tell the whole thing.
No, we'll tell it after this.
There.
Well, okay, it was that. Oh, go ahead.
It was Mark.
Yep.
Myself.
Yep.
And Dave.
Cyber Dave. And this is going back 1990-ish.
Oh, this was wild.
99 or 98.
I made you guys on that same trip. I made you guys jump higher than I have ever seen people jump. I mean, it was incredible. Talib probably jumped 4 feet into the air. I kid you not. Dave, he's a little heavier. Probably 2 feet into the air, but it was amazing.
It was a lot of work.
You guys remember that?
Yes.
You remember why?
Yes.
Yes, we do remember.
You do remember
exactly
why.
How and why and where.
Yes.
Remember all the lights on the truckers' cabs coming on? All right, we'll be right back.
Never travel with this over here.
Ever.
It's not a smart thing to do.
I'm glad to have been warned about that. In case the opportunity ever exists, I'll decline.
No. You can accept. But have a plan B.
Everything's got to be.
At one point during that trip, I'm on Dave's back, grabbing a sign off the side of the highway. A mile marker.
You wanted a mile marker.
No, somebody else wanted a mile marker.
No, I didn't want it. It was. I've never taken anything like that before. I took that sign for what I still consider a very good reason.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I actually was.
But we thought we were. The cop wouldn't have cared.
No.
If State Patrol pulled us over, it wouldn't have been a. It wouldn't have helped.
Do you have your email going?
Me?
No, Mark.
No.
The guy just emailed says, wow, you're bringing up some great memories from your Mountain Peak computer show day.
I remember your rant on Dave crashing the internet.
Yeah. I remember it because he brings it up every time I'm in the room with him.
If I were that put that down, you'll be like 90 still getting shit for that.
About those same years, do you remember a company, a guy, I can't remember his name, had Be Well Net. It was like
I remember
multi-level marketing to try to get.
Nate, put two up, forget it.
He tried to get me into that. And I remember he was right there off Hilltop.
What was it? Be Well Net.
First he did multi-level vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started Be Well Net, tried to do multi-level marketing, and he wanted me to come work for him. And I walked in, and they weren't even on shelves. He had like 50, 60, 14-4 U.S. robotics modems just thrown in a pile on his desk with wires everywhere.
I remember a company called Quadix that was quite similar to that. It's on the internet right here.
What was funny about this guy is he ended up going to jail a few years after that for tax evasion. I guess he made millions on his vitamins marketing. But yeah, he never paid any taxes.
Definitely remember the company.
Yeah, Be Well Net.
Be Well Net, yep.
I ended up selling to East Central. That's still around. They gave me 3 times revenue for each customer. So if I was getting $20 a month, they give me $60 per customer. It worked out pretty good. But I was done with the internet business. I got to tell you, first of all, it's not existent now. But it was nonstop. It was the worst fucking business I was ever in.
It was 24/7.
Oh my God! If Quest did anything wrong, it's your fault, and you have zero control over it.
Yeah.
It was so bad, I hated it. Now we had some good times being up all night when shit was working, but the second it went down, forget about it.
It was stress. Yeah.
Being up all night, there was no alcohol involved in that, was there?
God.
We had a beer machine in the shop.
We literally did have
your little Corona machine in the shop.
It was a Pepsi machine, yep. You could only put bottles in it.
It was bad.
Yeah, I think about that those days. It's amazing how that kind of drops off as you get older. Because the next day hurts more.
Oh man, you understand I had 2 gins and grapefruit juice last night. Over the whole evening. I almost didn't come here this morning.
I can't believe you drink gin and juice, man.
Hey, man, wait a minute. I'm a brother.
I can't stand gin.
And the juice is healthy.
And grapefruit juice. That sounds like an old man's drink, man.
Good gin and good gin and simply grapefruit juice, simply whatever it is.
Simply best or whatever.
Yeah, simply with that simply stuff. That is great.
No, the old man would be gin and prune juice.
That brewing and gin and prune juice would create a permanent place for him to stay. That's right. Bring me my gin.
Lunch. You were so nervous at that Denny's. I'll never forget that. You would have thought we robbed the place the way he was acting.
You would have thought.
Now wait till we get back on it.
Yeah, you would have thought a whole lot. Okay, in Salt Lake City, Utah, at midnight, with him, with all black, and this big old beard coming down.
Yeah, I'm getting emails.
Mark.
This guy, who is this guy? His name's Brad. He remembers he remembers me talking about Dave crashing our entire internet back in the day. Now, doesn't that make you feel warm and fuzzy, Dave?
Yeah, I've gone down in history. Fantastic.
He single-handedly took 500 people off the internet by plugging in a Hoover. It's an amazing thing. Now, the Denny's thing, though, this is like 88, 89. And Roy will go to you in a second, and then if someone would update 3, but 303.
98, 99.
98, 90. We drove to California to learn how to do a new database to run our internet business. And what it did was authentication. So, God, this goes back so far, but basically you put a username and password in. So you have what's called an authentication server, and basically it says, okay, Mark with username this and password this is allowed to get on the network and surf the internet. The other cool part, what it did back then, this is unheard of now, but it would actually count down, because if you guys recalled, for $14.95, we'd sell 20 hours a month, and then $24.95, it was the all-you-could-eat deal for the internet, and everything was modems. We actually had a couple ISDN lines back then, but anyhow, so we took this road trip to, where was it in California? It was right on the ocean. Like, turn that mic on. What was the name of it? Veracruz? Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz. So
Still have the Burgoless.
So we go out there, and we're headed back. And we're going through Salt Lake City, so we stop at a Denny's. It's like midnight. And I've never seen, in fact, till this day, Talib, I still don't understand it. You would have thought we were robbing the place, as nervous as you were. I mean, it was crazy. Here's all I did. Okay? Yes, I'm juvenile. I know. This is going way back. I learned a long time ago, Denny's has those laminated menus. So you can order water, and you literally take the water glass, and they're always the same size. You can't tell if they're upside down or not. So you take the laminated menu, you put the water glass on it, you turn it upside down, you put it on the table and slide it off. Now, the only way the busboy or the waitress, and they never know. The funny part is they always think, because they can see the water line, so they don't even think that it's upside down. So when they pick it up, of course, water goes everywhere. Yes, I know I'm juvenile. I used to be juvenile. I am no longer juvenile.
Right.
So, I set up, how many did I set up? I don't remember, 4 or 5.
It was 5 or 6 at least.
5 or 6, maybe even 80. Ordered water several times.
So we've got these 6 glasses of water upside down. And, of course, we want to get out of there. But at the same time, I mean, you got to see it go down. I mean, what's the point if you can't watch it? So the idea was we'd go out to the car and we'd watch it. Now, while we were out there, I guess a state patrol guy did show up.
There were 5 police cars outside that Denny's when we left.
Well,
there was one.
What are they going to get us for, spilling water?
I don't care what it was about or what they were thinking, but there was one pointing in one direction on one side of the street. There was one pointing on the other direction on the other side of the street. There was one in the lot behind us, and when we pulled out on the street, they followed us to the freeway. Yes, I was nervous.
Why were you so nervous? Were you nervous, Dave? I wasn't nervous.
I'm always nervous around you, so yes.
So I don't even think we got to see her go up, or him, for that matter.
We did not.
In the water spill.
No. We missed the...
Now, this was 20 years ago? I mean, it's a long time ago.
This had to be...
you said 90, yes, 20 years ago.
It had to be in the 90s.
Yeah, late 90s. It would have been 98 or 99.
It was crazy, man. That was a heck of a road trip. We had a good time, though. All in all, we went through Vegas.
Twice.
No. Vegas once and Reno on the way back.
Reno. God, Reno, we did go. That's the only time I think I've been in Reno. Reno's like a dead city, I think. John, you ever been to Reno?
No, but I'm just amazed that you ended up not being in jail just by the description of this road trip.
Well, I always said to Talib, I said, well, if we do get pulled over, I'm going to be fine because I was a white guy. He was the only black guy with us, so I knew you would be blamed because we were in Utah.
And Dave is looking like a serious goth at the time.
Yeah, Dave had the long hair.
So the trio was something to see.
Odd to say the least.
Yeah, we did not look like your typical computer guys going to database school by any stretch of the means. All right, Roy, what's going on, sir?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Roy?
Good. Since you're having an old guy geek show,
well, you're not kidding. If we added up the ages, with the exception of me in here, we'd be in the 500s.
Yeah, well, I'll add into that, and I'll be 6. I just thought sometimes it's about who you know, not what you know, and I'm certainly in the market for a good position. I've got a long experience in IT. I've worked for Boeing for...
Yeah, but what do you do? I got a long experience in IT. What do you do?
Well, I started out training, and I ended up finishing up IT working at GTE, managing the database, managing the networks for DOJ worldwide. I got laid off in 2002 when GTE merged with Bell Atlantic to become Verizon. And
what year?
2002, so about 40,000 of them got laid off.
Wow.
I ended up not being able to find a position because everything went under Homeland Security.
There is so few. IT is you're looking for a job, is what you're telling me, right?
I would be looking for a good opportunity.
See, what's weird is though, like, John, you're not in the business anymore. You retired.
I did, and
I'm not kidding. I'm seriously. Dave, Cyber Dave, works for the governor.
Yeah, but I'm still doing IT work.
Yeah, you are, but what I'm saying is you literally work for the governor. It's not like you have a company and you're going to hire this guy.
No.
Right. But like I said, sometimes it's about who you know. I actually got back into IT. A friend of mine got me an interview with Xerox out here. So
God, it's such a hard industry now.
Been knowing very little about printing technology. I'm now a Xerox field engineer. I've been that way for a couple of years.
You know, Mike,
looking to move up.
Mike Thomas, who, God, you worked for me at Mountain Peak 100 years ago, it seems like, but the one in Parker, here's what Mike does now, and I get into this for a reason, Roy. He's got a ton of customers, or, you know, whatever, 20, 30 customers, however many, and he goes in, and he basically sets up their workstation and sets up their server in the office. He'll also have, you know, a backup sitting around if something happens. But with the exception of that initial setup, I don't care if it's the printer, in our case here at the Troubleshooter Network, the phone system, I mean everything. He literally, what don't you manage from your house in Woodland Park? Seriously, besides the initial setup, if we have a problem with our phone system, you log into our phone system. If we have a problem with the workstation, you fix the workstation. Same with the server, same with everything. It's like you literally don't go anywhere anymore.
Well, anymore, everything's connected to the internet. As long as it's online and you can get to it, yeah, you can do anything you need from anywhere.
And you can back anything up. If we have someone's entire workstation go down, Roy, he can actually, all we got to do is plug in a cord and boom, their workstation's back up, just like it used to be.
Oh, certainly. Yeah,
well, it's just amazing, but my whole point is I think IT jobs, I mean, in general, they're kind of going, well, I can't say they're going away.
The market's
How would
flooded.
you describe it?
The market is flooded. There are a million people out there that quote-unquote do IT.
Yeah.
And whether it's in a specific segment, you know, that just like this guy that just does Xerox or whatever, you know, there's a lot of guys that are very niche like that.
Yeah.
But the reality is that there's a lot of people that do what I do. They touch everything. And they whether it's the phone system, whether it's the servers, whether it's the backups, whether it's cloud solutions, whatever it is, you got a single funnel of a person that handles every aspect of that.
Roy, how old are you?
60.
It's going to be tough too, man. I'm not kidding. You know,
that's
discrimination is real. I don't care what anybody says. People do not like hiring older people if you can hire a younger guy cheaper. I mean, it's true.
Right, absolutely.
But not only that, you got to be a guy that can do a lot of different things. You know, no one's looking for a specific printer tech, you know, that kind of thing. They need somebody that can work in all aspects of that industry.
In the past, I've had Microsoft NCSE when it was Windows NT 3.
Yeah, that's going way back.
Windows NT 4.
Windows
I had,
NT.
Novell C&E at 3.5.
Yeah.
And
okay. My God, I just heard 15 radios click off. NT 5.0 and, I mean, my God, Lucent Technologies and blah, blah. And, man, seemed like a nice guy, but it's tough. I mean, it's tough getting into the computer business. I wouldn't go back into it. I hated it. Actually, I loved it. I hated the automotive business. I hated the automotive business with a passion. Maybe it's because that guy took me for $250,000. That sure didn't help, but oh, my God, that was the worst ever. Go ahead, John.
Having been in both, I would say that people get a lot more pissed off when you give them an estimate for $2,500 for a transmission than they do for $200 for a hard drive.
Oh, big time. All right, 303-MARTINO, 303-713-8255. Suzanne, you can clear that line. One, any questions you have, anything with IT, anything autonomous vehicles. And then, of course, you've been ripped off, taken advantage of. 303-713-8255. Sherry, you hold tight. We'll get you next. Maybe we get Salisbury that one. Talk about industries that have changed a lot. Approval reverse mortgages. Reverse mortgages have changed an awful lot, and there's one person that I trust and Tom trusts to call up and get the real skinny on it. If you're over 62 and you intend to live in that house for as long as you can, and you want some more income, if you want to grab some of that equity in your home, maybe go on more vacations, do whatever you want to do. It's your money that you worked hard for. But Joan Sullivan will give you the real deal on it. Whether or not it's good for you, she'll answer all the questions. She's a real deal. ApprovalReverse.com, or give her a call, 303-771-3528.
How hard Joan worked on getting our reverse purchase put together out there. She was fabulous.
Oh, did you do one through her?
Yeah, we did a reverse purchase on it. So, yeah, we just put down like half down, and there's never a payment.
And you never have a payment.
Never have a payment until me and the old lady both die.
Which could be any time.
It could be at my age. Smart ass.
I had bet you wouldn't make it through the show.
You know, it's like
over and under.
Age and
noon, over or under.
Age and experience versus youth and smart ass.
Youth and
yeah.
He's not so youthy anymore. It's just the rest of it hasn't changed. But
you know what's funny?
He's getting a little bit of gray coming
what
in
will
finally.
not change is I had one of my neighbors out there actually just traded us out some meat for my computer work. Just like in town at PC Answers the last few years, you know what they needed done? They bought a new printer and had no idea how to get going.
That's so insane. Plug it up.
I probably had 30% of my service calls were setting up email, setting up a printer.
Dave would go out and literally train old people.
And getting the coffee stains off the cup holders.
Were you in Cyber Dave who did a article in, what was the old techie?
No, not that Cyber Dave. No.
Yeah,
no.
Cyber Dave, I remember.
Yeah, the local computer.
Yeah, what was that little computer?
Computer Edge.
Yeah, Computer Edge.
Yeah, no, I used to read this stuff. I wasn't that Cyber Dave.
Yeah.
I had to be Cyber Dave because they already had another Dave who I think became Euro Dave or something like that.
Euro Dave.
Because he had just come.
That's fucking weird. But it turned out to be really cool, man.
What the hell's a devil's dog?
It's a East Coast thing that's kind of like a Twinkie. It's like a cream-filled cake.
Oh, yeah?
They were really good.
Yeah. It's like a Twinkie, but they're chocolate.
I was with you on that. I thought it was hot dog cake.
No, devil dogs are huge. Just on the East Coast. I don't know why they're not out here. But it's like Hostess. Yeah, it's like Twinkies. It is weird. Why aren't they out here?
Harvested from your own fat or bone marrow, then strategically
In-N-Out Burger in Phoenix is everywhere. They do hamburger, cheeseburger, fries. That's it.
It's it. And they're going to Colorado Springs, and they might as well stay in California. If they're going to go to Colorado Springs.
Why aren't they coming? I don't understand why they're not here.
No, a buddy of mine actually has been trying to court those guys for years to bring them here. Okay? And they just wouldn't do it. Now they're going to Colorado Springs, and I'm mad. I'm not going to go.
The simplest damn menu in the world, and they're a big hit.
They kill it. They great this.
Well, you want
fresh
to put
lettuce,
a fresh
fresh
potato
meat.
in that thing, and make it
you watch them. You can literally see them prep your whole thing, and it's good.
I was in Vegas with a buddy of mine. We went to the one there, and that's the first time I ever had one. And yeah,
they're wicked, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't something that simple though?
You know I did Simply Floors, right?
And now they're putting them in Colorado Springs. I am so
I don't know why that would be the market for them. I don't know
why does that anger you? Because they're not here?
Because,
bigger market's here.
The bigger market is here.
I never even heard of them.
And literally, my buddy was courting them. I mean, like 2 or 3 rounds of, we really, really want you guys to do this. Looky here, what can I do to buy into the process?
What kind of area were they looking at trying to bring them to?
We didn't care. Just
somewhere in the metro area.
Yeah, just Denver Metro. We didn't care where.
They go. Well,
they killed. I mean, you know, when the closest thing to it, even in style, is what Good Times.
Yeah.
Close. They're just kind of there. Okay, they're in the framework of how they operate, but man, In-N-Out had the big refrigerator on this side and the little cook shop on this side, and you're sitting in the line and you see him go over there and come back with all this fresh stuff, and then you look.
All right, 303-713-8255. Man, I can't believe the New Year's is coming up. What a long year. What's the biggest thing? Well, let me get to Sherry real quick, but 303-713-8255. Guys, I want you to think of this. The biggest news of 17, we got to do that at some point. We have to talk about it. You know, regardless of what you think it is, what do you think it is? Can we get Salisbury on for her, Suzanne? See, attorneys on a referral list are great, but my God, the holiday's over. Some of us got to work, which is funny because I'm looking at everybody else in this room. You guys aren't working. I'm the only one, like, legitimately working today, and Suzanne and Drew. That's kind of weird.
I don't have to work.
What? You're not paying us for this?
No. Sherry, what's going on? Yeah.
Savage.
Where's the house at? Okay, it's in California. You're here in Colorado, right? Okay.
I'll take care of it for her.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. And you're both on the deed, or what? You're both... Well, then just get another power of attorney done for that. I mean, you should be able to do that right through the title company. Well, he's going to have to sign something, I assume. He's going to have to sign something. So, I mean, if he's missing, I don't know what you can do there.
Find him first.
You can't get power of attorney without his consent on that. I mean, you know, you just can't. There's no way you're going to do it. No.
No, baby.
Well, I mean, okay. No, there's no way around. I mean, I feel bad for you, but, I mean, it sounds like you've been trying to help this guy out for a long time. You know, we set up this number. I got to tell you something. Really, you just made me think of something. We set up this number for this place called the Raleigh House. They do individual treatment plans. It's medically based. It's what I call real treatment. And, you know, I don't know what got your ex-husband into this stuff, but some of the triggers out there people deal with this time of year are marriage problems, family problems, legal problems, financial problems. But these guys actually came out with a phone number. Tom and I went out there. We met with the guys at the Raleigh House, and they'll help you talk to an addict in your life, maybe a kid, a spouse, a sister, a brother, it doesn't matter. They'll actually help you learn to communicate. This number wasn't set up this, you know, where they answer and go, hey, how much money do you have, stuff like that. This is a real number for real help. But the main people we set it up for is exactly someone like you, Sherry, someone that needs to learn how to talk to an addict. But I am going to give the number out right now, 720-893-5559, 720-893-5559. I suggest, Sherry, you call them and ask if there's anything you can do, and I'm not kidding. Okay. If you can't find them, I don't know how you could possibly get a power of attorney.
Yeah, you're right. I was just grasping.
Yeah, it sucks. One of the people on our referral list you might want to look up is David Salisbury.
Okay, I did write his name down.
Yeah, he's an attorney, but honestly, without finding him, I think you're screwed. Why do you want to bail this guy out again? Do you have money coming from this foreclosure or this house?
Believe it or not, I don't.
Well, why? Okay, at some point, maybe you're enabling him. Honestly, maybe you should really call the Raleigh House, and I say that because maybe you're technically not helping him, even though it sounds like you really want to.
I do.
Well, okay, but...
He's the father of my child.
I know. Talk to somebody, though. Really, call the Raleigh House. I'm not kidding, and just ask them. I have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and keep yourself... Don't get so tangled up into this stuff, Sherry. I mean, help them out, do what you can, but... that
I hear
sucks.
what you're saying. Thanks for taking my call, Mark.
You're welcome. Bye. I feel so bad for her. Once again, the Raleigh House number, though, 720-893-5559.
That's a sad call. You know, we helped a guy last week. Clint, get on that mic real quick. I want to talk about this real fast. If you were listening last week, we helped out, I'm sorry, I forget his name. Gil. And it's turned into a nightmare. How many times do we do this? And I'm the only... No, that's not true. We've all been here. It's so hard to help people that have fallen off the cliff. It's next to impossible. In fact, Tom says it better than anything. Think about this, guys. You know how hard it would be to be a homeless drug addict. You got to live out in the cold. You got to find drugs every day. You got to beg for money to buy the drugs. It's got to be one of the hardest existence in the world. You almost have to be good at it in order to do it. I could not be homeless. I, honest to God, couldn't be. My instincts, I'd go work at McDonald's and get a job. Now, I'm not talking about people that are mentally ill, which most homeless are, but they got that way from being homeless a lot of times. I'm not talking about the poor guys that came back from Vietnam and they got all messed up over there. I'm talking about when we were down feeding the homeless over Thanksgiving. Suzanne, some of those people I was driving up to what's the pastor's name?
Pastor Lauren Richmond.
Some of them were in their 20s. Yeah. And they look like they acted normal. They somewhat look normal. But my God, when do you wake up and say, I want to be homeless?
So sad.
It's crazy. But every time, here's where I'm going. We tried to help Gil. He called up. Okay, what was the first thing what's the first red flag that I talked about all day Wednesday and Thursday with Tom? What was the first red flag?
Well, I think it was that he was homeless, living in $100 a night hotel.
He's staying at the Marriott. The guy's homeless, and he's staying at the Marriott. I mean, that's not a normal decision. He has a limited amount of money coming in from a death benefit. You don't check into the Hilton or the Marriott. You find something else. Why would you spend 6 days in the Marriott at $129 compared to a month somewhere else for $700 or $800? It makes no sense. But here's the update, and it sucks. I guess he doesn't have a place anymore. We got him a place that night, right, Clint? We got him a hotel room.
Yeah, we got him a hotel room at the Days Inn. The following day, Tom...
No, wait. Also, what else did we get him?
Oh, also ran him to Walmart and got a cell phone for him.
We got a cell phone, we got him a plan, and we gave him a $100 gift card to King's.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the newest? Then we found him a place. One of the listeners called in.
Yeah,
we found him a place, living in a basement.
Yep.
Okay, but this guy was wandering the streets. And this kind of irritated me. He didn't like the basement, did he? Be straight, too, Clint.
Well, yeah, it was messy, and it didn't smell real good, but it was you know, it was out of the weather, and it was a warm place to sleep. So.
And it was going to be $500 or $600 a month.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in a position, I'd have taken it, you know. And he did.
But that's yeah, he did, but he didn't. Okay, let's do this. Let's take a break. I'm going to come back, and I'll update everybody on it, but it just sucks. And we need to find, I want to help this guy still. I just don't know how to help him at this point.
Don't know how to be.
Say that again?
People that haven't been homeless don't know how to be homeless.
Oh, it would be so hard.
If you are, let's say, financially able at one point in time, you lose your job, you kill your business or something like that, and now you don't have those funds, but you find yourself in the streets, okay? If you've got anything in the bank, that's what you're going to spend, because you don't know how to hustle. You don't know how to get from day to day.
How does the guy, though, he gets $2,000 a month. How do you take 7 days in the winter and spend it in a hotel like the Marriott?
You don't know how to be homeless. When you don't know how
I think the guy's been homeless for a while, though.
No, he knows how.
He did fall off the cliff at some point.
He doesn't know how to be successfully homeless. There are successful homeless people.
Oh, there's successful druggies.
There's successful homeless people out there. I remember when I was back before I came to Colorado in LA. We used to see these guys at the 7-Eleven up the street from AT&T where I used to work, and they were always there. I rolled up on one of those guys one night, and he reaches in his pocket. He's pushing the cart, but he reaches in his pocket and pulls out a wire choke. A snake, come on. He comes out with this big wad of money. He's successfully homeless. He's in the streets because he chooses to be in the streets. He could be any damn place he wanted to be.
Like he's looking at it as overhead.
Yeah,
right.
literally.
Because they weren't asked first.
How did the landlord end up knowing?
Tom called us.
Not Martino. This is Tom, the guy.
Tom, the vapor trail guy. By the way, your opinion of him after meeting him, he probably believes that people are looking at our windows too. So
of course.
Yes, somebody right there looking.
I have a knack for smelling out nutballs. Just look at this room.
It takes one to know one.
The basement's clean now, and I say he can stay, but my landlord wants to meet him first, and they're gone for a few more days.
So
he's okay.
Says he wants to meet him first, but they want him out of there until they meet him.
Well, that's tacky.
I know.
Maybe we should have.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm renting a basement out to someone, and I find out that they're renting out half the basement I'm renting to them to someone I've never met. That's homeless. This could be an issue.
That would be an issue. Oh, wait. The person who gave him the spot is already renting in the basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's subletting his
subletting his basement corner.
Susan had a good idea to have the landlord talk to me, so I can tell him we vetted this guy, we ran a background check, everything else, and we'll see if I can get the landlord to talk to me. I can probably talk to him.
It's just such a weird deal.
Well,
these things never work out, man. Ever. They never work out.
It should have been simple.
We try so hard, too, on some of these. Yeah. They make it sound like, oh, if I just had a phone, everything would be all right. But then you really got to think, okay, look where they are. They didn't just get there overnight. Right. It took a lot of work to get to where they are. And there's not one thing that's going to fix that in any quick time.
And there's no way to know if they want to make a change.
No.
That's the part that's in. They don't even know sometimes.
Especially if you're listening to them.
Yeah.
Well, he claims he's trying to get his insurance test taken, and he's got offers.
Well, it's like the lady we were going to give the car to. She had a job. She had a job with FedEx, UPS lined up. Then we find out she's got no license.
So she can't get there.
Okay.
Public transportation isn't enough.
Not only does she not have a license, she literally never got a driver's license. So now this homeless lady that's never had a driver's license is going to go down and pass a driving test.
It's really tough. We're sitting here talking on break. By the way, Facebook, we're always live on Facebook. You can go to referrallist.com. Just go to Facebook, type in Tom Martino's Referral List. You can listen to us on break. You can see us. Quite the mugs. We all have the look for radio, except for Suzanne. She's got that TV model thing going.
Oh, aren't you nice, Mom?
I know. And actually, Nate, he's a handsome guy. I mean, he's short, but he's handsome. I mean, I can admit that. I'm man enough to admit that. I mean, Talib's pretty good-looking guy for an older guy. I mean, he is. I'm being serious. John?
No opinion, Mark. No opinion.
All right, 303-713-8255. Okay, guys, over the last year, honestly, I love shows like this. I feel like I can relax a little. But seriously, I've got Clint. If you have been ripped off or taken advantage of, I'm staring at two of our deputies right here that can go raise some hell and try to get your money back. So 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. John, I'll start with you. Biggest thing is 17. What do you think? Can be anything. It can be politics, of course. It can be computers. It can be anything. What is it?
I think probably the biggest thing of 2017 has sadly been, in politics, the growing divisions in the country.
Oh, my God. I think it's been... See, you forget. Oh, my God. And you shouldn't be forgetting yet. You're not that old. But here's what I'm saying. Do you remember how divisive it was? And I was on the other side of the fence back then when Bush was in office. I remember personally making fun of Bush and his Bushisms all the time. My daughters ain't as smart as they think they is and all this stuff. Honestly, you know, Deputy Dan, you're a Bush liker.
Not liker. Like I said, I think he was a good man. I don't think his policies were all good.
My point was it divisive back then?
Oh, sure.
We're living in the now, so we go, oh, the Democrats hate the Republicans and hate Trump now. Do you really think it's any worse now than it was when Bush was in office?
Actually, I do, just because, through a variety of different people I know, it seems like everybody's even more hardcore now as to not listen to the other side than they were 5 years ago.
What kills me, this is what kills me the most. And remember, I say this, and I'm embarrassed by it at this point, but I did. I voted for Obama twice. I voted for Clinton. I know. I know, but I did not know. I didn't understand back then. I don't know how else to put it. Here's the part that irritates me more than anything about right now. No matter what Trump does, no matter what he does, he'll never win over some people. He could literally give people money, give them money, and it wouldn't do anything. It's amazing. Or he could do the exact same thing that Obama did, and people would change their mind. He could do an executive order of an order that he already canceled that was Obama's, and there's people that would hate it because he did it.
That's right.
I mean, honest to God, I'm not kidding. And it goes to the other side, too, though. There's people that hate, like Bernie Sanders. I mean, God, it's hard to hate Bernie Sanders. I don't like his politics, but my God, the guy's likable as hell. And anybody that wants to give you free pizza and movie tickets, what can I say?
And that's the point I was trying to make, that I think it's become worse.
You think it's become worse? So you think the biggest thing of 17, to wrap that up, is going to be the Trump effect. I mean, let's call it what it is.
That's it.
All right. Richard, what's going on? What kind of notice did you get? Richard, you're up, sir.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir. How can we help you?
Faced with something I've never seen before.
What is it?
I received in the mail from a legal notice involving Oshwin, a settlement administrator.
How do you spell it?
Beg your pardon?
How do you spell Oshwin?
O-C-W-E-N.
Okay.
It's a mortgage company.
Does it basically want you to either say you're in or out and you have to do something by a certain deadline?
Yeah, February, but there's so much fine print here.
Yeah. How much is the settlement? Does it say? Basically, it just sounds like a class action settlement. I mean, Wells Fargo, we had a Wells Fargo mortgage, and years later I ended up getting like, I don't know, $29 or something from them.
I think you're right, because it says summary of the settlement, but the numbers don't make sense. It says,
Can you get us a copy of that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, hold on a second. Suzanne, let's get him an email, or he can even take a picture of it if he's got a smartphone or something. 303-713-8255. Hey, Stella, Richard, everybody hold tight. We've got a lot more coming up. We're going to get around. We also want to hear from you, the biggest thing of 17. 303-MARTINO, live at Troubleshooter.com. I'm Mark Major. This is the Troubleshooter Network.
80% of Fortune...
Tom thinks we're making him out to be a bum. I told him, no, we're not mad at him. He's a real.
How are we making him out to be a bum?
I don't know. I didn't think we were.
He's not. Why is he a bum?
No, he's helping the guy. I told him, no, that's not true.
He stepped up and is helping the guy.
Exactly. He's fine.
I get nervous more about Gil, quite frankly.
Okay, well, now
we're chasing Bunny.
He's going to give me the landlord's number. And I want to talk to the landlord. That will really help.
I still have no idea.
How deep do we want to get into this shit, though?
I just want to tell him what we did, that we vetted the guy, we ran a background check on him, we met him, and, apologize that I'm really sorry we didn't realize that we...
Well, how would we have known that?
Yeah, I know.
That's my whole point, though. How deep do we want to get in this? And you know what? Okay, I'll be the spoiler. So let's say this guy's batshit crazy and fucks the house up, or fucks up Tom. Then what?
Well, he's already cleaned the place up.
Okay.
So,
well, you're the only one that's gone over and actually met him and stuff.
I just don't get that.
When I showed up to meet him, he wasn't there.
Yeah, he's a quiet, very articulate, smart guy.
So is a Unabomber.
Yeah, that's true. Big thing to lose.
What do you think, biggest thing, Dave? 17.
Trump?
It's almost impossible not to say Trump.
It's pretty much Trump.
You agreed to leave?
Well, I'm sorry, you're right.
Well, I would say after the election, the attitudes of people.
What do you mean?
Just the attitudes of people. There are people out there that are, like you're saying, they're split, binary,
yeah,
zeros and ones on the man, But then I've been insulted. I've been talked to poorly.
Like how?
There are people out there that, are we on the air now?
We're always on Facebook.
Oh, okay. There are people out there that are walking around saying, fuck you, nigga.
What?
Yes, there are.
Like here?
Yes, here in Colorado. You think this is a nice place? This is one of the most hide behind the mask towns in.
You've said that before.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what he used to, when I first met him, he'd say, this is exactly what you'd say. You say, California, they were racist right in your face.
Yes.
You would know they were fucking racist.
Didn't have a problem.
In a second. But in Colorado, they're like incognito racist.
They've moved here.
Who?
From California.
From California. The people just that you're talking about, I think they've moved here because
I don't think they moved here. I think they were here. I'm serious. I hate to say what I got in there. No.
I went to West High School.
They were already here.
All minority, basically. As white, I was a minority there in high school. And I didn't see that much of it. That much of it. Now, I agree that it does exist.
I love when the white guy didn't.
You don't see. No, you don't.
Right. When would I see racism?
When would you see it? When could you acknowledge it? And when would you even own that somebody you know is that way? Okay? We've got friends in common that don't like me, and this is why they don't like me. Okay? And you know it. I'm not naming no names, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay?
You're really making me think.
Okay. We got
old friends or new friends?
They've been around a while.
But see, on that subject, like, probably my best friend in the world is like a brother of mine. There's a black guy who teaches at Pickens Tech, a guy named Wayne. Wayne Blackwell?
Yeah, I taught Pickens Tech.
Oh, yeah. Cool. The mayor of Pickens. But anyway, it's funny because people that you wouldn't think, it's like we'll be having a party or something, Wayne and I are all, getting rubbed up, putting our arm around each other. And people are looking, it's like, go get me a beer so I don't have to kind of like go over there. They don't want to even get close to them. And it's people I kind of think are cool, but
you'd be surprised.
We had a big case of that the last party we had out there. But, well, yeah, Wayne. Wayne's like the greatest guy in the world. Everybody at Pickens loves him. What did you teach at Pickens?
I taught CNC machining.
Oh, so yeah, you were real close over in Wayne's area.
Yeah,
he's HVAC.
They're just down the hall.
Yeah, HVAC. But yeah, he's just the greatest guy in the world. And it's funny though, he says that he finds, because they're having so many more immigrant students, he says he finds it worse with some of the immigrants, even though some of the immigrants are ethnically black.
The problem has gone from a black and white problem to, excuse my French, to a white and people of color problem. Okay?
695-7000.
Folks feel like, and they act like it. They act like they have permission now to be any kind of asshole they choose to be. All right, are you guys aware of this thing that went down over in 5 Points behind the Ink Coffee? Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? No. Oh,
they put this A-frame.
They put an A-frame sign out in front of the store. Okay, that says, happily gentrifying the neighborhood since, what was it, since 2014 or something like that.
Who put it up?
The Ink Coffee Shop, the owner of the Ink Corporation. Yeah. Okay, puts this out in front. It brought heat from everybody in the neighborhood. Why? Because you don't happily gentrify shit. Okay, somebody is suffering under that. Someone is suffering. No. You look at the money, you look at the growth, you look at the change, you look at the illusion of benefit. But the reality is, people are being displaced. Okay, people are being made offers, okay, for properties that have been in their family forever.
But the property wasn't worth nearly what it was worth after that, though. That's almost impossible to argue. So you wouldn't want more money?
I would want an inclusive improvement in the area that I live in. I wouldn't want people that have lived there for many, many years to be flat out displaced. Why?
But they decide to be displaced. I guess
Mark,
I'm missing something.
No, Mark, you say people decide to be displaced, okay? All right.
Why would they have to move?
They wouldn't have
They were coming back.
Finances, ignorance, all kinds of reasons.
All right, welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We solve problems, answer questions. My God, we're even talking a little politics today. It gets heated in here. I've got a lot of people in this room I've known for an awful long time. And some of them new. Deputy Dan, I have found myself. Suzanne, I really like Deputy Dan. I gotta say I do. At first I thought he was just a weird dude. I'm kidding, Dan. I've always liked Deputy Dan. He solved a lot of problems. Our new one, Clint's, doing wonderful.
Is Deputy Dan actually a deputy?
You know, many times we get asked that. It's actually, I deputized him. Dudley Do-Right over there. I deputized him. Dave Haglund in studio with me. He works now for, you work directly for the governor, actually. You're in the governor's office.
Yeah, we're in a kind of a sub-department under the governor's office now. All the state IT workers are.
You remember back in the day there was a, actually he might not remember, but Talib, you probably will. Dan probably would. There was a show called Soap. You guys remember Soap?
I just finished watching the whole thing about a year ago.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yep.
I thought that was the greatest show, but it was living in the governor's office. Is it similar?
No, not at all.
Do you ever get to see Hickenlooper, honestly? Does he come through?
Yeah, he comes and visits the agencies.
Is he a cool guy?
So we see him. I haven't really talked to him, so I don't know.
Yeah. Talib, we've known each other for, I think, longer than Dave and myself.
Way too long.
Long time. Long time. In fact, you sat here. I was doing this station, 630 KHOW. I was doing, I forget what hours it was, like 6 till 9, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Late at night, and I know exactly where you're going.
And that you were here, and we argued of all things. We didn't, well, actually we did argue. It was a good, heated conversation, which we, whether we're on the air or not, we have all the time. You must agree. We actually probably have the best conversations in the world. In fact, if everybody would listen to us, I think we could solve the world's problems. At least I could.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, we'd solve a lot of stuff.
We would solve a lot.
They'd be looking at you and looking at me and trying to figure out how we figured it out.
Do you remember what we were talking about that one particular night I'm talking about?
I remember he asked me about reparations.
That's right. And he said one of the best things, and I know other people have said it, but I never heard the quote back then.
I called myself being funny when I said, yeah, it was 40 acres and a mule. I'll just take a BMW and a condo now.
So instead of 40 acres and a mule, a BMW and a condo. And I couldn't, it was so funny. So I'm going to tell you where I've come on this. How many years ago was that? It had to be 15 years ago.
It was, I think, the first year you started working with Tom in the radio.
So it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And my argument back then, and it took me a long time to realize this, and I really, truly mean this, I would say, wait a minute, you know, my relatives came from Canada and came from Ireland. I never had any slaves. My parents never had any slaves, and their parents never had any. Now, I guess I'm making an assumption. I can't go back forever. But as far as I know in my family history, there wasn't any. So I had this kind of crazy argument that why would I ever pay reparations? But here's something I do want to say that I did not realize, and I mean this. Because of you, I understand now, and I'll call it Head Start. In fact, I think there's a program called the Head Start. Because in my time in this country, there hasn't been slavery, and it's been gone for years. Okay, I mean, we're on the same page here. I always thought, well, you know, that's old stuff. What does that got to do with anything now? It took me a long time to realize that because of slavery, a black kid coming up anywhere, I don't even care if they have money. I don't care if it's Chris Rock's kid.
Anywhere in the world.
Well, I don't know about the world, but what I know here has a much harder time getting anywhere. And it is true. And I did not realize that until, well, pretty much until I met you. I mean, honestly, I never even looked at it. It wasn't a point of not realizing. I never thought of it. But it is very true, man. You could take two people, a black kid and a white kid, and I know there's people out there that argue because I used to be there. I kind of understand it. Same money, same neighborhood, same everything. It is true. There actually is an easier time for the white kid. It's true. And the same thing, I think, goes for women, although that's changing, I think, a little faster. What do you think? You think women are still, you know, downtrodden, I guess would be the word? What do you think?
They have a robot advocating for them now, so...
All right, 303-713-8255. Nothing like politics on this show. It's kind of weird. We used to have a good time having these discussions. We really did. You know who else I love talking to, and I haven't talked to him for a while? Yeah, I don't even know if you knew Virgil, just from the shop, though, right? Virgil taught me a lot, too, man. Virgil taught me a lot, and I'm not kidding. I'd like to get him back in one time. He's a great guy. All right, 303-713-8255. Richard got a notice. Richard, did you get that faxed over to us?
Yeah, it shows that it was received.
All right, can we go grab that fax so I can look at that? Maybe Nate can run and get it, or someone can run and get that. I'd appreciate it. Richard, hang tight. I want to look at that. But you got a notice. It sounds like it's from a lending company that probably got into trouble during the foreclosure period. Richard, let me ask you, did you ever get foreclosed on, or did they ever start the process?
Not me. It's a class action suit.
No, I understand that. But did you ever have any issues in the past with your mortgage?
Not really. I pay it on time all the time.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the way you just... Okay, let me just look at the letter when it comes over. Hang tight, sir. Stella's got an issue with a van. What's going on, Stella?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, is Tom Martino?
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, I have a problem. I bought a van from these people, Rod's Autos, and...
Rod's Auto?
Yeah.
Where is it?
That's in Aurora.
Okay, and it's...
I bought it through... I went through his mechanic shop. Well, and I didn't know it was... and I thought the mechanic, it was his van, but it's not. It belongs to Rod's Autos, and that's in Aurora. And so...
Who did you buy it from, though? Stella, hold on. Did you buy it from Rod's Auto?
Yeah.
Who financed it?
Yes.
Who financed it?
Paperwork from them.
Okay. Do you pay them each month? Is it a buy here, pay here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to pay them each month.
So let me guess.
And I'm already almost done. I'm paying $18.50 for it.
Okay.
And I only owe $300 on it.
How long have you had it?
Well, I don't even have it anymore. The thing is that the motor went out on it.
Okay.
And so I only had it 2 weeks, and I did sign the papers as is.
Of course you did. Why didn't you have it checked out, Stella? And the reason, I don't want to berate you, but I'm going to for other people listening. When you buy a vehicle, and it's so hard not to know it's as is. You realize the words as is are larger than any other words on there? Well, see, as is. Wait, Stella, like what part of as is didn't you understand?
Well, the thing is that I've never bought a car from a lot before, so this is all new to me.
Okay, what are you going to do next time you buy one?
I'm not going to buy one from them anymore, and I'm not going to sign as is.
Well, okay. Any used vehicle you buy, generally speaking, Stella, hold on, is going to be as is. I do this for you in your future. Anytime you buy a vehicle, for an individual, from anybody, you have to get it checked out. If you go to referralist.com, we have auto MDs. We have SOS inspections. We have people that will drive out there and look at it.
Because I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know anything.
Well, okay, I mean... If everything you're telling me is gospel, Rod's Autos sucks, in my opinion. I have no doubt about it. If the vehicle literally lasted 2 weeks and then it needed an engine, that really sucks. They saw you coming. They took advantage of you.
Yes, they did.
Now what can I do for you?
So they did. So what they did, I told them, because it didn't pass emissions, so I told them I wanted my money back.
Yep, that's a good one. When did you try to get the emissions test?
He started giving, 2 weeks.
Well, you had 3 days, but go ahead.
Because they didn't give me the voucher to go do the emissions.
They don't. Okay, this is such a odd thing. Let's do this. Deputy Dan, you're pretty good at dealing with these guys. Would you call them up, see what the deal is? But Stella, you told me you don't even have the vehicle now. Where is it?
They have it.
Okay, are they supposed to be fixing it?
It's not running. No, they're not fixing it because it was too much to fix it.
How much was it?
What they did is they gave me another van, and now this van, the transmission went out on it.
Wait a second. You left out a big part there, though. So they were taking the same payments, and they gave you another van?
Yes.
Well, at least
they wouldn't give me my money back.
Okay, well, at least they're doing something. What do they say about this transmission?
Well, they're fixing it, but they're still taking forever, and they were supposed to have it done before Christmas, Saturday. And that didn't happen, and it's still not ready, and they don't know when it's going to be ready.
Okay, hold on. Deputy Dan, let's call up this Rod's Auto. Try to get the scoop from them. The one good news I heard there is the first van that the engine blew up in 2 weeks, they gave her another vehicle. Now, granted, the transmission went out almost as soon as she got it, but at least they're trying something. See where it stands, see if they're going to do anything. Maybe they will. I mean, once again, we have this big spotlight that we can shine on cockroaches if we need to. So let's see and feel them out. I mean, what kind of place is? Someone do me a little research on Rods. I mean, is this... What's it look like? Is it a real place or not? Here's what she should have done, though, and I got to tell you exactly what she should have done. And if you listen to the show, you know what I'm going to say. You ready? Rocky's Autos. Yes! She should have went to Rocky's Autos. She would have got a Carfax. She would have had 40 lenders to choose from, not a pay here, buy here piece of crap like this other one. It's Rocky's Autos. They're at 63rd and Federal, and they've got the largest selection of clean and late model used cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, sports cars. I've seen Cadillacs down there. I've seen Corvettes, minivans, all-wheel drives. They've got everything. 40 lenders. Why is that important? I'll tell you. If you got good credit, you're going to get a great interest rate and a great deal. And if you got bad credit, they're going to get you the best thing out there for your credit rating. They're kid-friendly. 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 Can I say kid-friendly? Kid-friendly. They're family-friendly. In fact, you can even bring your pooch down there. But you got to call Rocky's. Honestly, I just say put them on the list. If you're looking for a used car, look everywhere else and go to 63rd and Federal. Rocky'sAutos.com or give them a call, 303-426-4646.
Kid-friendly. I got it. I combined two sentences into one.
Kid and family friendly. Kid friendly.
I think the only thing I got left is stem cell, right? Yeah, you have done stem cells. Okay, what
so
is
this screen doesn't refresh on its own?
I don't know.
It doesn't, just so you know. So, but I have Buddy Mitchell. I sent him pictures. I sent you the pictures of the carpet, and I told him you take him after break, okay? So take him first. I'll harass you.
I wouldn't agree to do this.
Turn right and turn right again.
I'm going on James Bond. I do, but I got to set up the cellular. AT&T can't add the line because he has a credit freeze.
What are you doing, Suze?
My fancy iWatch. It's the cellular one.
See, me and Suzanne are the only eye people around here.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
You're all weird. Look at you with your Droid phone.
I'm fine with my Droid phone.
You got Samsung?
I have my Droid phone.
Have they ever sent a thing to yours that slows your phone down so you go buy a new one?
My phone is perfectly fine.
Thank you.
My phone is perfectly fine.
That's the story to hear. It's got nothing to do with Trump. It's iPhone getting busted
slowing down
phones.
Apple slowing down their older phones so people want to get new ones.
They got fucking little Chinese kids jumping off their factory committing suicide,
And
they're slowing
every
down
one of
phones.
those Chinese kids for making my phone because it's epic.
This is a real deal class action.
303-426-4646. They will have plenty of special holiday deals at Rocky's. They get an inventory every single day. So go see them at Rocky's.
Yeah, he should just sign on to this.
63rd and Federal. 303-426-4646.
There is nothing wrong with this. They violated the Telephone Consumer Protection Act by calling cell phones using an automatic telephone dialer.
Oh, who is it? I got like $22 off some class action against some company.
Yeah, some crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, some attorney's going to make $6 million, and then everybody else that was
They
actually
put
affected by it is going to make $12.
They put $17,500,000 on the side to pay these out. It looks like each people will get. They say up to $25,000, but the only ones that would get $25,000. No one's getting $25,000.
One reason for a highly trained, commission-driven salesperson to
Here we go.
way too much money on a mattress.
You give up the right to sue separately for an order prohibiting more calls and damages of $500 per call.
Deliver a great night's sleep at an incredible
This
value.
settlement offers less money than you get on your own,
Skipping the
but
market
removes the burden, expense, and risk. But how much do they get?
Your own home for 100 nights risk-free. In less than
Claim
3
for
years,
receive
you've
a
rapidly
pro
become
rata
the United
cash
States
award
record.
settlement class members who receive calls on more than one cell phone may submit one claim per cell phone number, up to 3.
Independent research study showed capital market owners are 3 times as likely
We're getting $24.
Plaintiffs will request up to $25,000 each in services awards and up to $5,800,000 in attorney's fees.
Casper.com. Thanks for checking us out.
Mythbusters is coming to Denver.
Dave, would you go to Owen TCPA OW? Here.
Is it Owen or
It just says for more about it. It's like the end of the first paragraph.
Total Liberation. Join Dr. Jan Bellerman and Gerald Dennis at the Denver Athletic Club February 9th. Register for this life-changing event and learn more at valueversusforce.com/events.
It was snowing pretty good on our way in. There was no people there.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
That's what surprised me is on I-70 all the way in, it was snowing pretty good. Coming south on 2 1/4, it's like, crap, I'm going to be there early because there's no traffic.
This powerful hair treatment.
I used to hate driving that 225 every day. Oh man, that was a nightmare.
You'll love the results.
Hated that. That was the longest drive ever. Castle Rock to that Montbello store was just a mother.
So it looks like the settlement is about getting robocalls from them.
How much does it say each person's going to get?
Let's see.
$60. Says the cash awards are estimated to be $60 based on a 10% claim rate.
Got it.
Yep. Yeah.
And the attorneys get $8 million or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I missed my calling. I would have been a great class action guy.
The overall settlement looks like it was 17.5 million, but it's obviously.
Listen, we realize you got CPOD or whatever the hell, but I'm going to get you $14.
So they all want.
I realize you're going to die anytime soon, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 303-713-8255. We had Kim call in the first hour. She had a problem with the carpet in a Richmond home. Another Richmond home warranty problem. My God, save me. It happens like weekly now. I hope Richmond Home, someone there listens, or one of the sales reps or somebody. This isn't good for business. When you constantly, and I mean constantly, have warranty problems. We don't get them from other builders. When's the last Lennar one we got? I don't even remember one. I mean, honest to God, I don't. We had one person ready to camp out at Richmond because they wouldn't take care of business. You know, when you buy a house and you do the walkthrough, the worst thing you can do is sign off at the end and they say, oh, we'll come back and fix that tile, or oh, we'll come back and do this, or oh, we'll come back and do that. Because they're like anybody. Once they have the money, they have the money. Very simple like that. Then they can put you off while they use all their labor to finish up on the other ones. But Buddy Mitchell, actually friend of the show, simplyfloorsinc.com, save up to 40%. Buddy, I love talking about you guys and what you do. You looked at these pictures that Kim sent. She was trying to tell me that they actually, Kim, you were saying they overstretched it, correct? Okay, Buddy, what do you think on those pictures? Yeah.
Larry from Rod's Autos on 7, ready to come on.
Well, what is it?
So what?
There's two, like on about the third picture down, there's 2 black marks.
The tile transition.
That's a transition strip.
Transition strip.
The transition to the carpet to the wood.
Yeah.
Well, the carpet.
I'm not looking at the pictures, so I really have no idea.
There's carpet, then there's a wood transition, and then there's tile. It looks like they did, and you're saying that it's kind of like worn right there. Is that what your problem is with the transition to carpet?
Yeah, it's the seam. They just came out probably within the last 2 months to replace some of the carpet in the dining area through the little that little hallway, because when they did it the first time, it was riveling. They did a horrible job.
I see the seams and stuff. I'm looking at these pictures. Listen, buddy, I just want to cut to it. I mean, I know these are hard because, like, everybody that ever sends us pictures, they're very close up. There's no real overall shot. But does it appear to be industry standard, or is it impossible to tell?
It doesn't look properly stretched to me.
Okay.
It needs to be stretched. Where the carpet meets the wood transition on the lower pictures,
yeah,
that looks like industry standard. Where it's a little bit short in the corners where the carpet, that's easily fixed with a guy coming out maybe 20 minutes and he can fix the.
How much would it cost if she hired you to come out and fix this or stretch it or do whatever? Just roughly. I know you're not looking at it. What?
$400.
All right,
so $400.
So I mean, go ahead, Kim.
How much did he say?
$300-400.
Yeah, that Richmond needs to come out and fix it because it's their error. Okay, how do we get to them? So I told them I was going to call you guys on them, and they just bluffed that. They thought I was bluffing. Is there any way you guys can notify?
Well, yeah, I mean, we always reach out to them. Suzanne, are they even responding to us anymore at Richmond?
We do everything by email. It's been a while.
Are they pretty good at response?
Well, they're not great at responding back to us, but...
They get with the consumer?
Yeah, get with the consumer.
All right, well,
For the most part, this lady seems like she's had more than one issue.
Who are you dealing with directly down there, Kim?
It's Laura. I have it right here.
Who is it?
It's Guy Flooring. And the last time, we've had so many issues.
Wait. Yeah. Did you say Guy's Flooring?
Yeah, it's through Richmond.
Yeah, but who do you deal with at Richmond?
I have, you mean the warranty people?
Yeah, I mean, do you have an actual individual?
Yeah, his name is Brian.
Brian, and he works for Richmond, right?
I think that's who we chat
in the warranty.
And what is his phone number? Do you have it?
Yes, I do.
What
it's
is
in
it?
My phone.
Okay, look it up. Hold on. I want to get it, because you know what? If they don't want to answer us, that's fine. Maybe they can answer 100,000 people that call Brian on his cell phone. Because I'm getting very upset, and I'm sick and tired of Richmond in this crap. This lady's right. $300 or $400, that's all. And if these people do a lot of business as Guys Flooring, do a lot of business as subcontractors for Richmond, my God, they should get it handled. And my God, Richmond should put some pressure on them to do it. Why do the other home companies not have this problem? I appreciate that they're busy. I appreciate labor is hard to find right now, but Richmond, do the right thing for once. Is this the same Brian? Do we have any idea?
I don't know, but we deal with a guy named Brian.
Put the number up. Just get the number, put it up, get her information over there, and I'll give the number out as soon as we have it up. But this is getting absurd. It happens all the time. All right, Larry's on from Rod's Auto. Oh, man, this is great. I love when companies come on. First of all, Larry, I appreciate you coming on. It tells me a lot about a company when they come on. We had Stella call up, said she purchased a vehicle from you guys.
Correct.
And 2 weeks later, I guess the engine blew up. Of course, she bought it at... Well, hold on a second. I'm telling you what she said. She said that she bought it as is. She admits that, and she knows that. She said after the engine blew up, you guys did give her another vehicle. But the problem then became that there's a transmission issue with this one. So what is going on, Larry?
Okay, the first one she bought, she kept for 2 weeks.
Yep.
The engine didn't blow up. What happened was it was an injector and a computer problem. So it took more, to repair the van. So what we did, we told her, look, and then we gave it to her, at a reasonable price,
How much did you charge her?
We charged her, I think it was, if I can recall, $1,500 or $1,800. I think it was $1,800 it was.
Okay, so, but
the van went for $25. We charged her $18 because she said she didn't have much money. So then, again, she put a down payment.
Larry, I'm sorry. Hold on. Larry, let me ask you a question because I'm not understanding. You sold her the vehicle for how much?
$1,800.
And then you're saying you did you charge her for the CPU and the injector or no?
We did not.
Okay, so then you gave it back to her. What happened then?
Now, when we tell our customers, because again, we go by their income. You know, most of the time they come in there, they don't have much money.
Understand.
So we tell them what we have for that price.
Sure.
Again,
I get it. It's an $1,800 vehicle.
It's correct. And something is, you know, we tell them, if we fix everything on a used vehicle, we got to add it into the price. So the vehicle was running fine. We took it out, and actually we drove it from the auction. Had been sitting there a year. So she came in. Her other vehicle went kaput on her, the Explorer, I think she had. And we told her she needed something bigger. So we told her we had the van. We put her in the van. She kept it for 2 weeks. Again, we don't know if it was negligent on her part or not. That I didn't care about. So I feel bad when I.
So what happened? What happened?
We told her we'll go out and get her another vehicle. I think the Caravan we first ordered was 2002. We went out to the auction again and got her a 2005.
Okay.
Kia. Drove it back, everything's fine on it. We told her to come down, look at it, they drove it.
But till this point, she still hasn't paid more than $1,800, right?
No, we told her, at first I told her she would have to pay a few $100s more. She started crying about that. I said, don't worry about it, we'll sell it to you at the same price.
Okay.
Although it's a 2005 with low miles on it, we even took it and had the emission test put on it. It passed admissions.
Okay.
Now, we're required by dealers, if to pass admissions, you know, that's all we're required, honestly.
Yes.
You know,
I understand. It's as is. Yes.
As is. So she came and drove it, her and her sons or somebody, and
so you hold on. You swapped her out. Can we say that? You swapped her out for another vehicle.
Correct.
And did you charge her? You charged her nothing, right?
Nothing. Correct.
Okay. So what happened to this vehicle? The transmission went out?
So she took and drove it for I think about a week.
Okay.
Brought it back and said the tranny was slipping on it. I said, okay, fine. Here's what I'll do. Either I'll give you your money back or get you another van.
Wait a minute. You were going to give her the $1,800 back?
She didn't pay the full 18. We put her on a buy here, pay here.
Okay, how much?
$1,100 down payment. Then
what were you going to give her back? Hold on, Larry. What were you going to give her back?
I was going to give her back $1,100, which when she came in and got the second van, the Kia, she brought in another $400 payment.
Got it.
Because she said she didn't have much money.
I understand.
We was working with her.
You were going to give her back every dollar she spent with you.
Every dollar.
Hold on a second. Okay. Hold on. I love this. Hold on a second, because Kim, unless if he's outright, I'm sorry, it's not Kim. It's Stella. Stella, unless if he's outright lying, you neglected to tell me a pretty big part that he agreed to give you all your money back.
He didn't agree to me at all.
Okay, hold on. Then maybe we've got maybe we can actually get something done today when it comes to problem solving, because I've got him on the other line right now. Larry's telling me he's going to give you your money back, so hold tight. Let's get to the bottom of this. I mean, this is crazy. I got the guy saying he's going to give a full refund. I got the lady saying he's never said that. There's got to be something going on here. All right, listen to this. You ready? How about aches and pains? I've got some people in here like, John, Talib, Clint, Dan. I mean, you guys should check this out. You guys have pains in your knees, hips, back, shoulders, hands? Yes, yes, and yes. And I'm not kidding here. Listen, stem cells are unbelievable now. Absolutely unbelievable. But you can't get suckered in by the bad companies. If the chiropractor is telling you he does stem cells, I got to tell you something. It's probably not true. The only way to get real stem cell treatment, the only way to get live stem cell treatment is when they take it directly out of you. They usually go in through bone marrow. Some places use fat, but they go in, they take it out, they run it through their lab, and in the case of Centeno Schultz, it's right there in the same facility. Then they basically superfy it, if you will, and then put it back in to where you hurt, whether it's your shoulders, your backs, your hips. It doesn't matter. And I got to say something. Don't get taken by the fake ones. Don't. Simple as that. You call a real place. These are real doctors, real nurses, real facilities, a real lab. It's not something that gets shipped in, because guess what? You can't ship live stem cells. You can't do it. There's no such thing. If people tell you they're live stem cells, they're lying. It's simple as that. They've got to harvest them from your own body. Centeno Schultz is the leader in this, and we're lucky to have them right here in Colorado. Give them a call. You can discuss whatever whatever you want, but once again, they take it right from your bone marrow, then inject it to where your pain is. Hips, back, shoulders, hands, almost any part. They can even help ACL tears. These guys are incredible. The technology is incredible. Go with the real deal. 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201. Centeno Schultz. I'm not kidding. We're lucky to have him right here.
From the Fox Business Network on Wall Street, the major averages are lower in afternoon.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's incredible. Yeah, but they're taking like tens of thousands of dollars.
I'm making people really
These are the ones that blow
stuff
me
they're
away.
putting into them.
Yeah, the lady saying one thing. This guy went well beyond what goes up by here.
Are you kidding? And it's kind of like,
We give you a second van and then we give you all your money back?
You think all the way over the last 10 years they've come up with to get money from people just through advertising.
So who the hell are they? Gentlemen.
I've been trying to talk about like the stem cell companies.
Stem Cell Institute of America.
Pharmaceutical companies.
in Mexico,
They're the
20 years
real or
ago,
the
they
fake?
stopped class action lawsuits.
Stem Cell, the group you said, they're a good group? The
Centeno Schultz is great. Oh, Stem Cell Institute of America, in my opinion, complete ripoff. If you go to these, you know, they'll do these free seminars.
Like some kind of like.
Here's the deal. If it's not live stem cells, you're fucking wasting your time.
The original company was
Simple as that.
30 of them.
You're basically getting a blood transfusion.
Because it wasn't a big part of their lives.
Yeah. And then if they don't actually inject you properly with a guided needle, someone that really knows what to do, you're wasting your time.
The patent. And
There's nothing cheap about it.
30 of them is like $1,500.
Lyrica. Insurance doesn't cover shit now. They will soon.
They will. It'll be a trend.
When they have the seizures, epileptic seizures.
Well, and if you think about it, as they're getting better and it's working better,
Okay, that is.
what would you rather pay for? A replacement knee or a replacement hip? Or stem cells?
It was a drug that became
It's $5,000 for stem cells or whatever.
And $100,000 for a hip. You're going to start doing stem cells.
Right, you went for something else.
You know, 20 years ago, a lot of
The
corporations
FDA is
did have
kind
a
of weird
bit
on it
of
right now, though, because I can't give stem cells to you.
It's not to defend the drug.
Is it like a compatibility?
It's like a lottery.
Or is it
They don't
simply...
know. So the rules are enforced. It has to be your own. But because really what you'd want is you'd want to harvest stem cells from someone in, you know, basically someone that's 24 years old. I mean, the actual peak of being a human. And you want to use those, but you cannot do that. Now, there's some places that'll ship you out of the country, and they'll do it. But boy, you better have 100 fucking grand.
Pharmaceutical prices went down, way down.
And it is amazing technology. Just the problem is most people
It says something,
but it's really so good that.
Here in the U.S., our costs on stuff are just incredible.
What do you mean? Expensive? Oh, pharmaceuticals.
20 years ago, Mexico banned class action lawsuits.
Yeah.
And their pharmaceutical prices went way down.
Well, we pay for all the R&D. There's no hidden.
Absolutely. Well, the R&D and the lawsuits. I mean, every other commercial on TV is 1-800 sue them.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It becomes a lottery.
there's people that have taken. No, there's been taking people. If I was taking, what's the big one?
Frank, just throwing out.
No, acetaminophen. One of them. I mean, you know, it's been killing people for years, and they fucking don't tell you. I mean, they should be.
Livers, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Motrin.
I think it's just acetaminophen. They tell you never to do it while you're drinking. It'll fucking just kill your liver.
Yeah. I know firsthand somebody that got very, very, very sick from that. So.
Isn't that the one too, that if it expires by more than just a couple of months after the expiration date, it's supposed to be almost possibly fatal?
Like toxic.
Yeah.
Should be.
This is a drug or
It's acetaminophen, Tylenol.
Tylenol, yeah.
I'll take that when I was drinking.
Yeah, that one in alcohol, not a good mix.
Never.
It's bad for you.
I must have a bad liver.
You take it?
Well, I've done it before.
No, it's the worst for you in the world. Tylenol and liquor.
It's not while I was drinking, it's right after I drink.
Our body.
The alcohol in your system. In other words, if your liver's still working on the alcohol, stay away from the Tylenol.
Right.
It's like a poet. You're like a poet.
I am a poet, and I know it.
We don't.
You know, they were talking about that sign.
I bet you.
I take things positively until people prove otherwise.
I bet you I can tell you
Hey, it's Ross.
Where you got that scarf?
Who can help you save time and
Right,
money?
you looking at the thing right here?
I saw that.
For more than 20 years.
I bet you I can tell you where you got that scarf.
Where'd I get the scarf?
Well, it's gotta be for
Bet a
lunch or
beer?
something.
I'm a finance
I'll be exact, too.
leasing with Alliance is
You want to bet a beer?
for your business. Learn more at
Okay.
Alliance.
You got that scarf on your neck. Oh!
You're the first person he's got with that in like 6 months.
It's really uncalled for, really, when it comes down to it.
Let me tell you where you're going to get your beer. Let me tell you where you're going to get your beer.
I was busy with something, and Buddy worked out that.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. Let's get right back to this. Larry, are you saying you're going to give Stella her money back right now if she wants it?
We told Stella she can get everything back but her DNA, which was $350. We only charged her $200.
Okay.
And that's the DNA stack, Dylan Halley on it. But
how much are you willing to give her back right now if she goes down there? How much money?
Stella gave us, let's see, 11 first time. I think she gave us back a total of 14 because she brought down 400 more. 11. So we can give her back, you know, the 11 plus the 200.
So you'll give her back $1,300?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. I mean, Stella, that seems pretty good to me. You willing to go take the $1,300?
Yes, I will.
Oh, I love it.
I don't want to be going through this. I've been going through this since October.
Well, okay, October's not that long ago.
So,
I mean, honestly, I got to, Stella, I got to tell you, Stella, okay, great. You're going to, okay, good. Hold on then, hold on. And I got to tell you, I think this is great. Larry, you did not owe her that. You did not have to do that. I think it's great you did that. And it tells me you take care of your customer.
I do, yes.
Well, I appreciate that. So you hang tight there, man. You know, I got to say this, and I mean it. These buy here, pay here's don't act that way. Deputy Dan, do we ever hear this? This guy's going to refund her everything but $100, it sounds like.
It's good, it's good.
It sounds like a great thing, and he came on. And that's Larry from Rod's Auto. Now, Stella, when are you going to go down and get the money?
I'll be over there like in a half an hour.
I love it.
As soon as I can get there.
I love it. Get down there. Don't put it off, all right? Hold tight, and you call me back if there's any issues. He promised he'd do this. Got it?
Okay, I will. Would you let him know that I will be calling you back?
Yeah, he's listening right now. Listen, I'm giving the guy a benefit. I'm giving the guy
no problem.
Oh my God, she's hard to deal with. And I don't mean that in a bad way, Stella. I mean, we're just talking over each other. But anyhow, go down there. If you're going to be down there in the next half hour, Suzanne will give you a phone number to call us off air. All right? Let's do that. 303-713-8255. Richard, I got this fax you sent. It's a settlement. This company apparently was making unsolicited robocalls to cell phones, and they got busted for it. I would just fill out the paperwork, send it in, and you'll probably get like $60. It's free money.
It has a whole bunch of other alternatives.
Well, are you going to hire an attorney and go sue him?
I have no idea.
You're not. I mean, I'm just telling you. You're absolutely right. Here's basically what it's saying. It's saying you have the right to get $500 per call they made. First of all, you're going to have to prove that they called you. Second of all, you're going to have to hire an attorney. So let's say you hire an attorney, somehow you prove that 10 years ago you got a phone call from them and you have it recorded or something, you could get $500. My gut tells me, and this is not legal advice, you don't have that, nor do you want to pay for an attorney thousands of dollars to win $500.
No, I agree totally with that. Yep. I was a little surprised, though, where it indicated the
attorney's fees.
The settlement was astronomical number.
It's always, we have a great guy in Jersey. Suzanne, what's our guy's name in Jersey that makes more money than everybody in this building put together?
In New Jersey?
Yeah, he's not going to help you. He's an attorney that is basically a class action attorney. I mean, he just had like a $15 million settlement last week. It's incredible. The attorneys make all the money. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
That's interesting you said New Jersey, because that's where I came from. And
where are you from in Jersey?
Well, I was born and raised in Elizabeth.
Okay.
And I lived in Westfield and then out in a town called Oldwick.
I grew up in Voorhees.
Oh, okay. Same school district.
Yep, Marlton and Berlin. I was right there, right off the Black Horse Pike. Just fill out the paperwork. Get your $60, man. You're not going to sue them. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You get the but you will get a check for $60. Or if they have proof that they called you numerous times, you might get more than that. I don't know what proof they have per phone number, but it is a legit thing. It's a settlement. Get it done.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. It's free money, guys. I mean, did you guys ever get robocops? Remember back in the day, John, it's always been illegal to fax people without their consent, but I don't know anybody that ever got paid on it. I mean, I really don't. I just don't. Talib, let me ask you something. What do you mean, uh-oh? Uh-oh. You guys have bought... Your wife likes moving more than anybody I've ever seen. I swear to God, you guys have bought so many houses in the past 5 years, it's amazing. Right? I'm not kidding. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. 3 homes?
Okay.
And it's 5, 6 years? Oh, you just don't want to get in trouble. But I was thinking about, have any of them been Richmond?
No.
Okay. I mean, I have never had so many calls over one like this. I mean, it's really been incredible. I don't understand why Richmond is such a pain in the butt. Have you had warranty issues? Really, you have bought more homes than I
Yes.
Do they usually fix them?
Slow.
Didn't you have, the one had those huge, beautiful cabinets in the kitchen. Wasn't there something with those cabinets you were showing me one time?
Those cabinets are still a bane to us.
What's wrong with them? See, when you live with them, you see one thing. When I was over there and you were showing me, it didn't look as bad as I'm sure you guys see it.
They're chocolate. They're dark.
Yeah.
They're dark brown. Okay?
Yeah.
They messed up some of the doors, and then in trying to repair it all...
They're different colors.
Top, bottom, drawers,
I gotcha.
panels, and nothing came out like it was supposed to be.
I get you. So it just doesn't flow. I mean, that's really the deal.
And if you stand there, like when I was showing you, if you stand back and look at it, then you can actually start seeing it.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. Couple lines open. We'll be right back after these messages.
From the L&L Heating...
Just send, did we get the phone number for Brian? Oh, perfect.
What are we going to do with Tim? I thought you were going back to
Yep, I am. I will. You got kick-ass health insurance, don't you, Dave?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Can't complain.
What's like a doctor's visit? $30?
Yes.
How long have you been going without the beard?
2 or 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I guess.
Oh,
doesn't he look so much younger?
This looks different.
I walked in and didn't know who he was. So I looked at him close and was like, oh, that's
Does Dan like it?
Probably not.
I don't like it when he shaves his head.
I think she liked the beard better, but I got tired, especially this time of year. I look like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Big fat long-haired guy with a white beard. All I need is the red shirt, and we're good to go.
Are you going to start coming back?
Eventually, yeah.
You just need much wider hair.
It's getting there fast.
The name of the movie was from Erin Brockovich.
I know that movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, she still does class action lawsuits. She packages them and sells them to law firms.
Good idea.
She
put all the info
make them
together.
rich as hell, and some of them are really flaky, and she's still making a ton, millions.
Wow. She was a key.
If you went to this high school during certain years, you lived within 5 miles of oil wells, you may or may not develop cancer in the future. But once they get 1,000 people signed up on a class action lawsuit, it doesn't matter whether it's you can't get rid of them. You can't get rid of that many people. And you know, to
expediently at all.
Yeah, exactly. All she has to do is package them, and then she sells them for millions of dollars to law firms. Really smart what she's doing.
Man, this guy
I'm not sure
not
I agree with her.
agree with what we were talking about.
What guy?
Just this guy.
An emailer?
Yeah.
I'm Diana, and we are everything but the house. The most trusted estate
Which guy? Chris?
families across the country.
His name's
You're
Bruce.
wanting to land on our online marketplace.
But the silliness you speak about blacks having a harder time because of slavery is a lie.
Wow.
It is a self-fulfilling prophecy that the black community's mouthpieces spew.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, agreed. There's a few assholes out there.
He can have my beer too.
Wow.
There's 2 beers you're getting? 2 beers you're buying and stuff? And that's okay. I think another conversation.
I don't think you wanted that beer.
I always thought my great grandfather lost a leg in the Civil War fighting to end slavery. Mm-hmm. And I always look at that as saying, well, maybe that was his reparation.
A leg.
Yeah, a leg.
Okay, I think you guys are missing the concept here. Okay.
Well, our country fought to end slavery. That's, you know,
No.
Well, half of them did.
Half of your country fought to end slavery. And they fought that the half that fought to end slavery, well, I'd say
big part of it was state rights.
I'd say that was a second.
Yeah.
Right. That was the second piece to that fight.
Right.
Yeah, that was the second piece to that fight. The reality of I don't see it, so I don't know it, and I don't know it, so I don't believe it, is a matter of fact. Okay, there are people out there that are just in denial about anything and everything.
Well, that's wrong.
Okay, but there are people out there. Okay, that are right there.
Both sides.
Huh?
Both sides.
Yeah. Well, all right, Trump. There's bad people on both sides, but follow me down the road. Okay, let's ask a question. Which side drove the car in and killed the lady? Okay. Which side? Okay, are you see what I'm saying? Yes, you don't see what I'm saying. Okay, which side drove in and killed the lady?
Oh, of course. The guy is, you mean, that, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
He's in jail. I hope.
No, Kennedy. Or not
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah,
he's in jail.
Is he?
Yeah.
He is?
Oh, wait a minute.
Absolutely.
Well, good for him, that guy. But the whole team that was out there is what I'm referring to.
Yeah, and the ridiculous thing is the cops just stood back and let it all happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then further on in that same incident, you actually see this guy pull out his gun. Okay. All right. Where were the police? Okay. What's he doing with an armed weapon out in public?
Why were the police told to stand down on that whole?
Why are the police always told to stand down? Why? I mean,
that's a great question.
Yeah, and they don't. Okay, I've been on the ground in front of police officers. Okay, I've had their knees in my back. Okay, for traffic stops. I was very, very lucky last week before last. I was speeding on I-135, and I got a warning. But until I had the warning in my hand, bricks were in my pants. Okay, because in Kansas I had to get out the car. Okay, for a cop.
All right, 303-713-8255. Dave, what do you think, man? Biggest thing of 2017. End of the year coming. Is it the Trump factor? Is it impossible to argue that?
Yeah, I really can't get past the whole Trump and the seriously divisive government that we have at the moment.
And you think it's even more divisive than it was, say, through Obama, through the Bush administration?
Yeah, it seems like it's just been polarizing more further and further. I mean, it was rough 12 years ago. It's much rougher today. As far as, I mean, now reaching across the aisle is considered a crime by a lot of the true party people.
Yeah. So. It is. Yeah, I guess you're right. It is more divisive.
I think the lines are more obvious now, where it was all underneath and people were just either not
people are outright
it.
pissed.
Yeah, people were not seeing it, or they were just in flat denial about it, or it didn't bother them, or it didn't affect them, so there was nothing to it.
This could be the first time where, when the election comes again, people are going to have to decide, okay, even though my wallet's fatter, even though I'm happy with the new policies put in, that guy still drives me crazy. I'm not one of them. I love Trump. I really do. I like him being boisterous. I like the whole thing. I love him, in fact. How's that? I like a non-politician as my president, and a lot of people can't stand that. I don't care if he tweets. I don't care about any of that. But there's going to be a lot of people that seethe when they hear his name, that are going to decide, oh my God, do I want that raise I got and that more money and all this stuff gone? Who do I vote for? I mean, it's going to be really cool, I think, in 2020. Hey, Kim, so this Brian Matt, he is the home care director at Richmond Homes. And these people are saying they're not going to come out and fix that carpet now. Is that correct, Kim?
Yep.
Well, okay.
There's an issue. They don't want to fix the seams. They're telling me that it looks fine, and it doesn't look fine.
Is it just the seam that's the issue with you, or some of those other pictures you sent?
The other pictures, basically, there's a lot more issues in my house that Richmond needs, that it hasn't gotten resolved.
Well, you know what's funny is the release you signed, and I looked at it, really is just about your tile. So you didn't give up any other rights on this other stuff. When's your year warranty up?
Thursday.
You know, well, okay, I mean, you've brought it to their attention, but really your problem is they're just saying we're not going to fix it. It's industry standard.
Yeah.
Well, I suggest, and I hope, our listeners out there, call up this Brian Matt, who works he's the home care director at Richmond Homes. And Brian, I mean, will he ever come on the air, Suzanne? Does he ever come on and talk, or everything's through email?
No, it's just through email, sometimes an occasional phone call.
You know, I just wish Richmond would take care of business. And listen.
I have another number. I have another lady that she responds. Her name is Gail.
Okay, hold on. We can give Gail's number out, but I don't know Gail. Is this the same Brian we deal with, Suzanne?
It sure is. That's his cell phone on the screen. I don't know if you want to give that.
You know, I don't know what else to do at this point. I don't know why they have so many problems week in and week out.
Maybe on this case I can reach out to Brian for Kim. He may be out of the office being the holiday week, but maybe I can reach out first, Mark, via email and see if you want to do
know that
anything.
I mean business, because I'm over this. I mean, we've had issues that when we moved into our house, we had no appliances, and my bathtub was all messed up. They have to come out and
Why would you sign off on the house? Why would you do your walkthrough and sign off without appliances and stuff, Kim?
It was complicated when we went.
No, it's not complicated. You're doing the walkthrough and there's no appliances and you have all these other problems. I'm asking, why would you sign off?
We didn't sign off right away. We waited because they...
All right, Kim, here's the bottom line. We're going to reach out to him. I'm not going to give his number out right now. We'll put some pressure on. If we don't hear back from him by tomorrow, let's talk about this guy, Brian, and this home warranty from these people. It's getting crazy. Hey, I want to thank everybody for being in. Mike Thomas, Talib, Dave Hagland, John Hogan. Geez, I'll never get that right. All right, folks, listen, everybody, don't forget live at troubleshooter.com. 303 Martino works on and off the air.
Wow. All right.
Saudi Arabia.
That goes fast.
Well, they do. Actually, it does.
It goes really fast.
It's amazing how 3 hours.
3 hours is when
fly. That's quick.
It was a slow day, too, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. Good thing you had so many talented people here with you.
500 years of experience, all in one room.
Right, no matter what. Just makes it it's a great text, actually. She responds back to me. This one guy was both class. What are you going after this? We refer to her as the people's handler. So I was hoping she could hear Mark.
I hope she gets her money back. It could be one of them you got.
I've been telling Mark stories for years. Now she can hear what she sounds like.
Why did you pay her, guys? She was difficult to deal with too. Just kept on talking.
Looking at
those buy here, pay here guys. They buy those cars at an auction over on 76. Shit, they don't know what they're buying either.
Oh, hell no.
Like people, a lot of them have been trading because they're having trouble.
And they buy them for nothing.
Yeah, my connection in here has been really poor on the phone.